this is this a rematch of that national title game?
No. Played Iowa last year.
That's why I like this.
Like Coach V. My granddaughter is 10 months old and she's V. Victoria. said.
Why do we put up these other tables? Sorry, I didn't do much preparation. Good, my man. Well, good waiting, Jeff. Yep.
There are guys below my feet. He just tapped me on the foot. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dwayne Chase, and I am at NMMI, and it is time for some football as the NMMI Broncos will be taking on the Tyler Junior College Apaches. The Apaches come in 4-0 on the season, and they're 2-0 in conference, while NMMI is 2-2 on the season and 1-1 in conference play. I'm going to have Henry Villarreal join me and help me with color commentary. We're going to refer to him as Coach V. And our producer this afternoon is Tanner Todd. So we've got it all lined up. We're set up. We've got a really nice tent, at least for the moment. It may end up north of here. I don't know. But pretty big. Uh-oh. Yep, this one's trying to take off. So hold the phone. we may have issues here with the tent. But just a gust of wind came through. Hopefully it'll stay where it's at. Do want to mention you're listening to NCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico, on the campus of New Mexico Military Institute. It is on KSVP TV and AM 680 KTBB in Tyler, Texas. So I actually have a son-in-law that's from Longview or right near there. So a little bit of history about Tyler. For myself, I live in Clovis, New Mexico, It's about 2 hours northeast of Roswell, and I'm honored that they offered me the opportunity to come and do the play-by-play for this NCAA contest between these two junior college teams, and already become good friends with Henry Villarreal. And again, Coach V, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
You got it, Dwayne. Welcome down to southeastern New Mexico.
Well, you know, I cover the Clovis Wildcats high school, and they play Roswell a lot.
Correct.
They used to play them a whole lot, and this is my 24th broadcast season. So I'm very comfortable in Roswell, and if I'm not stopping in Roswell, I'm headed to Artesia, Alamogordo, Las Cruces, Carlsbad, all those. You come through Roswell to get there. So
right.
I'm very comfortable with being in Roswell.
Well, I hope you enjoy your pass through this time, and we're hoping for a great football game here on this beautiful day. A little breezy.
Yeah, and you know, I got to tell you, I'm a grass guy. I love, when I drove up and I saw the setup here, I thought, this is grass, real grass. I'm not a turf guy. I hate turf. I know why they do it in New Mexico, because of water. But, and other, you know, even not just New Mexico, but, you know, a lot of stadium schools have gone to it for cost reasons. But I love it right here. We've got a grass field, and it kind of has a high school feel to it. The grandstands on each side, and the number of players caught me off guard a little bit. There's a lot. I'm not used to seeing this many players at a game like this.
Correct. I don't really know the scholarship restrictions at the junior college level for football, but years ago when I was on this campus, I want to say it was somewhere in the range.
Now tell
of
everybody,
60
you
places.
coached here.
I coached here from 1990 to 2000. I was the high school head baseball coach here, and an assistant football coach, and an assistant basketball coach. Obviously, I was the young guy that they had do everything.
Now, were you from Roswell?
I am born and raised here. I graduated
Okay.
from Goddard High School in 1983, and
So see, I'm older than you.
well,
not by a lot, but
Well-
it's only because I was in high school for 5 years. I'm kidding.
Understood. That's the path I took in college, and then I graduated from Eastern, and spent 33 years teaching and coaching here in Roswell. My last coaching assignment, I was a baseball coach at Goddard High School, and when my boys were no longer playing and participating, I said, well, I better go watch them while they played college ball. And I had a son fortunate enough to come play here for Coach Cook. And
Oh, how nice.
baseball, and it was a lot of fun.
All right, here we go, getting ready to kick off.
That ball's teed up.
Yeah, Coach V, this wind is blowing, I would say, what do you think, 15, 20 miles an hour?
15 to 20 miles
And
out of the
it's
southeast.
blowing dead southeast, and this field sits north and south. So the kicking team, which is going to be Tyler, they're going to be kicking into a wind. So, you know, I'm assuming the rules for junior college are the same as high school. If you kick it into the end zone, is it automatic a touchback? Or, well, no, it's NCAA rules. So you can bring it out if you want to, can't you?
Yes, and teeing it up for the Apaches, Seth Baggett. He's a kicker from Lindale, Texas. It's approaching.
Here we go, and for Tyler, wearing white jerseys, black pants, kick is short, fielded at about the 10, running room around the far side, getting to the edge and out of bounds. I believe they're going to spot him at about the 30. Oh, they're still coming. Where are they going to spot him? Oh, now he's going back. Okay, the 40-yard line.
I believe that was Jeremiah Porter on that return.
Yeah, nice return out to the 40-yard line, and that's where they'll start. Now, where is my clock at?
Porter is
The
a
score.
wide
Oh, there we go. It's over here by Caleb. That direction. Lot. 14:53. Now, see, these are other things I'm not used to. 15-minute quarters. I'm used to 12. So we're going to get 3 more minutes of football every quarter. NMMI comes out, twins right, one receiver left, pump fake, throw.
There's going to be a
and,
hold
yep,
right there.
There's going
Hold
to be
on number 6.
Yeah, big hold because that was a timing pass. And the quarterback for NMMI is number 6. And that's Isaiah Abeda. And you know what? I knew that name. He's from Las Cruces.
Oh, well, and that penalty is going to be right there on, believe it or not, that's Willie Nelson from Longview, Texas.
Willie Nelson. I didn't know he played football.
Not the guitar playing one, but.
Yeah, and see, another thing in high school, when you have pass interference, it's not
it's
the
a
rule.
15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not
and this one can be much more. So it'll go to the 45-yard line of Tyler, so it'll be 1st and 10 for NMMI. Again, they have the wind at their back.
Good.
We're over on the east grandstands. They're moving left to right on your radio dial.
That's going to be a false start on the right tackle for the Broncos.
That was a jump for sure.
I think that's number 51 for the Broncos there.
So they'll give back 5 of the 15 they just got. Set them up dead at midfield. We're just underway, 14:44 here in the first quarter of play. No score. First possession by NMMI. The high school here is the Colts. That's what I'm used to. The JUCOs are the Broncos. I guess that's an older Colt, maybe?
It's a mature male horse.
Mature male horse. All right. Here we go. Twins right, one receiver left from the middle of the field. Snap is back and had a man open.
Slightly overthrow there.
Yeah.
Looking to connect there with Dylan Donahue. Running back out.
His family's sitting right to my right, and his girlfriend.
Well, all right.
Yeah, that was their guy right there. But that pass will go incomplete as on the throw, Abeda just a little. And you know, too, the wind, though, Coach V, could be a little factor even when it's behind you because it's going to make the ball float a little bit.
Yes, sir. I'm sure the Broncos are going to want to take advantage of this offensive possession traveling with the wind at their back.
That was Donahoe, and he maybe got a yard on the play down to the 49. So that's going to bring up, what do we have? Where's our yard marker?
Third down and 14.
And about 14, yeah. So 3rd and 14 coming up. Tell you what, we got a new.
Looks like we got Jake South in there at quarterback now.
Another quarterback.
San Antonio, Texas.
That guy just grew 6 inches on me. They switched quarterbacks. New quarterback now. He's going to look.
He throws the fade out there.
That's good coverage on that one, Coach V. Not much. He'd had to drop that in the peach basket, as they say.
Right, and that was intended for Isaiah Beta.
We've got a penalty on the line somewhere. See, it looks like it's going to go against NMMI.
Didn't see any preliminary.
Yeah, not yet. Just by location of the flag.
Speaking with the Bronco coach here, not the Bronco coach, the Apache coach here, and they're going to go ahead and decide to take this penalty.
Well, must be.
I'm sure he's got his analytics sheet there.
Is it a hold? Or no? Did he go 15? Yeah, he did. That must be. I didn't see the call. Must have been personal foul. Don't you think?
Yes, sir. It had to be.
Yeah, I think so too. All the way back to the 36. They'll lose 15 on that one, so that's going to bring up 3rd and a bunch. About what, 30?
Yes, sir. Right
Something
at
like
it.
That, yeah. So 3rd and 30, new quarterback in for NMMI, Jake South, San Antonio, Texas.
Another deep ball attempt for the Wilson.
Yeah, that should have been picked.
That's going to be offensive pass interference right there.
Pushing off, huh?
I'm sure the Tyler coach on this one will go ahead and choose to decline this and force the Broncos to punt here.
Porter, he's from Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Yes.
You know, that's another thing about college that's different than high school. You know, I don't go, well, he's from Midland or he's from,
right.
You know, I guess I could find out what elementary they went to and go, he came from, you know, James Bickley Elementary. But when you get here, these kids are from all over the place.
Well, in Clovis and Roswell, you might even be able to tell what street they live on if you want. He's from over on
That's right.
Garden Avenue. Broncos lining up the punt here.
Yeah, that went incomplete. They declined the penalty. It was an offensive push-off. So they're going to make NMMI punt. Return man is number
Bryson Burgess.
33, is that right?
I think it's 13 possibly.
13.
We'll see.
We'll see. Punt is away.
It's good punt.
Oh, yeah.
It is
into this
33.
wind, yeah.
That's going to hit. You were correct, Dwayne. It's Kyle Ewell. He's a sophomore.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we better get a commercial break in here. We've got 13:32 to go and no score in the game. And we'll be back in 1 minute. You're enjoying NCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on the campus of NMMI on KSVP TV and AM 600 KTBB. Back in 1 minute.
All right. That's going to be a gain of 6 on that first carry, Dwayne. I think we're back.
Okay, we're back. Gain of 6 on the play. They'll take it out. Yep, you're exactly right, out to the 26. And for Tyler, the Apaches, they're heading into pretty stiff breeze here. They'll have one receiver out to the left, everybody else up tight. Handoff, looks like a little bit of room off the right side and going to be just short out to the 29. Coach V, that's a gain of 2.
Yeah, it's a gain of 2 by Bryce Burgess. There's the lone back in the backfield for the Apaches.
And where did we say he's from?
Bryce Burgess is from
There he is.
Houston, Texas. He's a sophomore.
Houston is how we say that up
Houston.
there. Houston, Texas. We know how to say it. I'm just
Yes,
kidding.
sir.
All right, we've got third, and we'll call it a yard for the Apaches. And hitting the backfield, breaking tackles, and he's going to get the first down. Great second effort, Coach V.
Burgess right there did a great job. What good backs do, they make the first guy miss, and he made the Broncos pay for it right there. Wound up gaining about 6 more yards on that play.
Gets a first down for Tyler. And they're out to the 31-yard line. 12-11 to go, no score. This is Tyler's first possession. They'll throw one out in the flat, caught, and pretty well defended, Coach, a gain of 2.
Little flanker screen there to number 6, Jamari Evans. Oh, excuse me, number 8.
That's the first pass of the game, I believe, wasn't it? By
Yes,
Tyler.
that is.
It was.
And that was Hawk Patrick Daniels on the reception there.
Well, that's a cool name.
Yes, sir.
Have to remember that one.
He's out of Aledo, Texas, a sophomore, another sophomore here. Looks like that Apache's offense is loaded with sophomores. Quarterback drops back out here in the flat.
Shotgun, yeah, nice pass, missed tackle, and man, the tackle was good enough to make the receiver lose his balance, but he'll go down to the 49-yard line. And Coach V, that one is good for 18 yards.
Yeah, that's tight end. That's a good-sized tight end. Lonnie Johnson out of Fort Worth, Texas. That's a redshirt sophomore for the Apaches, but it looks like we have a flag on this one.
Nope, yep, going to negate that. That's going to probably be where a hold normally occurs based on the flag.
Oh, it's going to be offensive pass interference
that's
there.
2 of those they've called today.
Yes.
By the way, the officials we have, any idea where these guys are from? I
No,
know.
sir.
They're California.
Wow.
All California.
Well, imagine once you get that junior college or NCAA
Tag, yeah.
tag, you could be sent anywhere.
You can, and there are, let me see, 8 of them here. We'll mention them here in a moment. But we're going to have offensive pass interference. So they'll mark them off 15 yards, and that's going to take them back to where the 20, no, inside of that, the 17 is where the Apaches will go, and they're going
to be second and 25. There's going to be a pre-snap whistle right there on that big tight end, Lonnie Johnson. He moved a pre-snap penalty there.
Trying to get the jump on it.
That's going to make it a 2nd down and 30, Dwayne.
That's a bit, isn't it?
That is. Well, there's not a lot of plays in your playbook designed for 30 yards.
There's not even at the pro level, really.
That is correct.
Other than throwing it up and hoping for interference.
Yes, sir.
All right, 2nd and 30 now for Tyler. Snap is back, 2-step drop, looks to his right, complete, out to number 6.
That's caught out in the flat there. That's Jamari Evans.
Yeah, or Willie Nelson. How do we know which one that is?
I believe Willie is the defensive cornerback. There's in the
Okay.
college levels with these numbers, they'll have an offensive number 6 and a defensive number 6.
Really? I did not know that.
That's
good
going
to
to
know.
bring it up to about 3rd and 27 here.
Yeah, I got about 3 on the play. Not a whole lot. They're going to send out.
They got trips to this left side.
Yeah, they got it loaded, and they're set up right in about the middle of the field.
Johnson in motion.
1-step drop
be
throws.
a
Yep, they're setting up basically a
wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
Good job by the cornerback here.
Yeah, he didn't get much. Maybe, 2?
Yes,
on
sir.
the catch, something like that, out to the 26, so not much there. And right now, Coach V, we've got a defensive struggle going on.
Yeah, that was a great play there by Dalen Chichester from Mesa, Arizona. 6', 193-pound cornerback for the Broncos there.
So the Apaches, will need to punt. Now they're going to be punting into the wind. So the return man for NMMI is set up at about his own 35-yard line.
Yep, lined up deep to receive the snap is number 20 for the Apaches, Brian Ramirez. He's a sophomore out of Ferris, Texas.
Paris, Texas.
Ferris.
Who knew?
Ferris.
Ferris,
There is a
Texas.
Paris,
Oh,
Texas.
there is
but
a
this
Paris,
is Ferris,
yeah.
yes.
You know we got everybody in Tyler listening, right?
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're
Maybe all around the country, actually, I guess. There's a young man that played for Melrose High School that I got to look him up. He's here on
Nice.
NMMI's team. We'll talk about him in a little bit. He started at Eastern and then moved here.
There may be a couple of kids as well from Roswell. Quite a few New Mexico kids here.
I don't know if they're going to list him as Melrose. Here's Hobbs.
See Alamogordo, Roswell, Las Cruces, Albuquerque. Quite a few from Albuquerque. Lovington.
Here's a young man from NMMI from Paris, France. How about that?
Oh, sure. We have a number of international students.
players, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what they resetting the clock or what they got going on here.
Junior college game is really and doesn't matter what sport you play in. It's about how well you can do in the international recruiting market there.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's changed, hasn't it?
Right. Yeah, from Coach Schooley with the Bronco basketball team, Coach Shelby Fortuner with the Bronco volleyball team, Coach Chris Cook with the Bronco baseball team. They've all got to explore international markets.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
In the football market here, a lot coming, go out and search the islands out there and see if they can find a few Polynesian linemen maybe, or some running backs or linebackers. Fair catch signaled.
Yeah,
and it's made there.
Good reason, because he kicked it up into that wind and it hung. So fair catch will be made at the 35-yard line. That will stop a 8-play drive, but Coach V is kind of riddled with penalties that hurt the Apaches on that opening drive.
Right now, a little bit sloppy, Dwayne, on both ends. On both ends of it. Kind of the fill-out process here early on in this first quarter of this conference football game between the Tyler Apaches and the Broncos.
They're coming back out with number 8 from San Antonio, Texas, Jake South. And kind of be interested to know why they switched quarterbacks so quick. Possible injury, but it would have had to happen in 2 or 3 plays. And
Well,
there
we saw
really hadn't been any pressure on the quarterback either way yet this afternoon.
And Abeda lined up as the wideout on one of the previous plays
Okay,
there.
so maybe they just moved him position-wise.
Yes.
Felt they could use him at wideout maybe a little more. All right, 1st and 10 for NMMI. They're at their own 35. Going to fake a handoff. Nope, they do hand it off.
They do hand that off
Nice
to number
run.
5 there. Good gain.
Yep.
Could be a gain of 5 there.
High five to the girlfriend. There we go. All
By
right.
Donahue there.
Yep. Nice run out to the 42. That'll be a gain of 7 on the play. Bring up they're going to give him 6 on the play, so it'll be a 2nd and 4. No score with 12 minutes to go here in this one.
Twins to both sides here, Dwayne.
All right, you're
One
exactly
back,
right.
it's quarterback draw.
Yep, he's going to
Right
run.
up the middle. He's got some room.
Boy, broke a
Good running there.
Nice job. Goes into Apache territory down to the 41. So that one good for 17 yards. That was a design play.
Yes, sir. That's going to get the Broncos their first down of this game.
You know what? You're exactly right. I'll mark that.
Good job there by South getting up the field.
Again, for NMMI, they're moving left to right. Wind at their back, headed towards the north end zone. And they'll come out with a 1st and 10. One back set is Donahoe. They're going to give it to him. He'll go off left guard. Good running out to the 38-yard line. He'll get 3 on the play, Coach.
It's a good gain right there. Great push on that left side by the Broncos. I'll do a better job here getting these linemen in. On the previous play, big Daniel Foldsey out of East Coast Prep, the right tackle for the Broncos, had a great trap block there to free up South on that quarterback.
Yeah, this may
draw.
be JUCO, but there's some big kids out there.
Yes, sir. They're all wanting to make it to the next level. And, you know, can't coach that size. It's got to be given to them. Nice swing pass.
Oh, did he lead him too much?
It was forward.
Yep. Oh, he caught it, but
he caught that
had to
ball.
dive for it. And he'll lose, actually, on the play, Coach, about 4. Well, he actually would have been better off on that one to drop it.
Yeah, it needed to be incomplete there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
So 3rd and 9 for NMMI. And something's wrong with their clock because it said 12 minutes a while ago, and now it's saying 8.
I bet you that's what that discussion was a while ago between the officials. They're probably keeping the time on the field.
I bet you're right.
Got trips to the right here.
Try and give you a time. Yep, trips right. One receiver left. Shotgun. One back set. Snap is back. Here comes pressure this time.
Rolls out.
Rolls out. Oh, what a throw. Running cross body.
Yeah, he's rolling to his left. He's a right-handed thrower. And a great job out there by Butler to keep. I mean, that was a professional catch in college. He's only got to have one foot in, and he had both feet in for the Broncos' 2nd first down.
Yeah, that one good down to the 34, so that's a gain of 12 on the play. And that one's all credit to the quarterback. Pressure came, he bolted out. So he'll have twins right again, one receiver left from the middle of the field.
They motioned to trips. There's the handoff to Donahue again. Good job sliding to his left.
Yeah, breaks a few tackles, and he'll go down. We're not up high enough to totally see. We kind of got to wait for the line judge. Looks like he goes down to the 20.
Gain to 7 there, Dwayne?
Yeah, I think so.
Great job by Donahue there reading the zone blocking of the left side of the line for the Broncos.
See where they spotted it. Yeah, at the 20, what was he, at the 28 maybe?
Yes, sir.
No, it's inside.
No, it's inside.
That.
That's a 22.
That's a 23 or 2, yeah. So that was more of a gain than what we thought. It was an 11-yard gain. First down for the Broncos. Under center now. Yep. I tried to get them to hop. They didn't. Good discipline by Tyler. Taking a long time. 5-step
drop, back shoulder throw.
Oh, yeah, and the catch. Nope.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Wow. Almost got that back shoulder throw in there, Coach, but that one will go incomplete.
Just a little bit wide there by South. Might be that might be that wind pushing that ball. It is blowing straight behind there.
Yeah, I think, everybody thinks just throwing into it's hard, but it affects it when you throw with it as well. I didn't mention NMMI wearing black pants this afternoon, red jerseys with black numbers and a white outline. Again, the Apaches, black pants, white tops, black and gold helmets. I like that. They remind me of the Hobbs Eagles.
Going to be a timeout here by the Broncos.
All right, timeout taken by the Broncos, so we're going to take one as well with your score. there isn't one. And we believe we're at the 8-minute mark. We're not totally sure, but we're going to come back in 1 minute. You're enjoying NCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on the campus of NMMI on KSVP TV and AM 600 KTBB. Dwayne Chase along with Coach V and helping out producer-wise, Tanner Todd. Back in 1 minute.
We're gonna miss a play here.
Miss a play. Well, that was quick. I'll have to take a 30.
Didn't want to call that right there. So we missed the second down play, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, we'll just catch up with that.
I think we're good to go.
Welcome back to Roswell, New Mexico. While we were away, we missed one play, an incomplete pass, and even though he wasn't in the pocket, a little bit of happy feet, Coach.
Yes.
So incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for NMMI. They're at the 23-yard line of the Apaches. Trips right again. One receiver left, one back set. Quarterback
Good
keeper.
call.
Yeah,
Good call.
Called his own number, and he's going to get a first down.
Quarterback draw there.
I think he's got 1st and goal coming up.
He sure does. He caught the Apaches there lined up in a zone with 3rd and 10, and those linebackers turned and peeled out of there trying to get in the passing lanes and left a large amount of running room there for Jake South to pick up that first
he's
down.
Down to the 8-yard line, and that was a gain on the play of 18. It's going to set up 1st and goal for NMMI. They'll have one receiver out to each side, one back set again, Donahoe. And they're going to give it to Donahoe. He'll run,
Good
and he's
cut.
going to go in untouched. Donahoe with the TD, and that's an 8-yard touchdown run, Coach, and a nice drive by NMMI.
Right, that's a great cut by Donahoe there. He let the linebackers for the Apaches over pursue to the right, and he cut it back left and hit a seam there and went untouched into the end zone. Great drive by the Broncos.
Yeah, very nice. Again, we apologize about the time. We think we're around the 8-minute mark, but we're not sure. The clock here is not working.
Broncos lined up in the swinging gate here.
Oh, yeah, going to go for 2.
They're going to go ahead and shift now to a traditional
Yep, I'm going to
PAT.
go kick it.
Is that 22 kicking?
I think it is. We'll know here in a minute. Kick is on the way. Oh, I don't think that got in. It did.
It did.
Wow.
Is that Antonio
was
Muniz?
92.
92.
Yep.
That is Jack Nelson, kicker out of Austin, Texas.
All right, Nelson gets the PAT. That was adventurous.
Well, with that wind, I imagine these kickers are having to kind of anticipate a little bit of movement there, but the Broncos with the 7-0 lead here.
All right, we're going to take a 30-second break this time with your score 7-0. NMMI in the lead. We think we're around the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. You're enjoying NCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVP TV and AM 600 KTBB. Back in 30 seconds.
All right, Dwayne.
Skoog. We back?
I think we're back.
All right, Skoog is what we've been told. Number 89, the long kicker, and he'll come up and he does his duties as that one's headed to the northern parking lot. And we'll go way out of here. And NMMI defensively, Coach V is going to set up with the lead this time, 7-0.
Correct. That was Amari Henry, a sophomore return man deep for the Apaches out of Keller, Texas. but no opportunity to receive that. That thing landed 5 or 6 yards into the end zone.
And that's one, if you do catch it and bring it out, your coach is going to kill you.
Yeah, he may rescind a scholarship on that one.
They lose your scholarship. That's true. So they'll bring it out to, they're at the 25, aren't they?
A little more of a tight right here for the Apaches. It's going to hand off up the middle there. Good job.
A little bit of something there, not much, about 3 yards on that play out to the 28.
That's Burgess once again on the carry there, number 5.
Kind of their workhorse. As Tyler will, they run this similar formation. This time they'll have twins left.
Actually, that's going to be
One
trips
receiver.
left with big tight end Johnson there.
You're right.
He's lined up as in the flanker position there. He's going to swing out. They're going to throw it to him, and he's a load.
Yeah, he breaks some tackles and actually more. Yeah, he's a big kid. What do they list him at?
Johnson is listed at 6'4", 230 pounds. He's a redshirt sophomore out of Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow.
Gain of 30 there.
Yeah, very nice. So shotgun formation again.
Twins to both sides.
Left, yep, both ways, and right.
Blitz. Oh, and the quarterback takes a pop and a little bit late.
Did he catch that?
What a catch if it was inbounds.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about dropping one in the breadbasket. What a catch by number 18 for Tyler. Up, here's a flag.
Elijah, I believe that's going to be roughing the quarterback.
Oh, you think a late hit? Okay.
Yeah, that's Elijah Beza. What a grab by Elijah Beza.
And what a throw into the wind. Unbelievable. Now, the quarterback for Tyler is number 9, correct?
I believe that it's actually number 4, Trey Guerra.
4, okay.
What a throw there by that young man.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And I think, do they have first and goal? We can't
they do.
tell.
I see the down box
20,
only over
10.
there, so it's first and goal. They're inside the 10.
Yeah, it must be right at the 10. So first and goal for Tyler.
Single back eye. They're going to swing it out. Great play by the Bronco cornerback there. Is that number 41?
Yeah, on the tackle, I believe that's right. So not much there. I'm going to say no gain on that one, even though they got a catch.
That's Eduardo Carrillo out of Cañutillo, Texas, making a great play there on the wide receiver bubble screen there.
So we're going to call it second and goal. Hard to tell where they're at. They may have actually lost a couple on that one.
They did. They may be outside the 10, but still in the red zone. There's an outside blitz. Great block by Johnson. Good move by Burgess. Cuts it back in.
What good hands, too. That ball was pretty hot for him to handle it, but he caught it and got about 6 yards of yak afterwards, Coach. And yak, people like, what is yak? Yards after catch.
Yes, sir. That's going to bring up a third and maybe 10.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah.
Well, third and goal, actually.
Yeah,
third
and goal, actually, yeah, from the 10. Maybe even a little further. We apologize. We're not up high enough. And we're in the middle of the field. They're way down on the other end. We can't quite tell where the ball's at. But it is third and goal. We do know that.
See if they try to utilize Johnson's size here. He's got a safety on him. No, it's going to be a screen out to Burgess. He cuts it inside. Tough running. There's going to be a flag from the back judge.
Yeah, I almost think that has to be a face mask or something. I didn't see anybody around except the defender.
Let's see what the call is here. Holding. One of the wideouts.
Okay.
Coming down in on a secondary level there.
So costly penalty there. Of course, NMMI will take it.
It looks like, did he signal decline? They're going to be fourth down?
Well, did he? It will be fourth and about 10. Fourth and goal from about the 10. What do they do? Call timeout? What are they doing? Not sure. Sit tight. Yeah, I think they did decline it. So is that over on downs? No, not yet, right?
Should be fourth down right here.
Yeah, here comes fourth down. Timeout.
Fourth
Coach,
down,
let's just
7.
keep it right here and talk a little bit about this drive that the Apaches have going.
We will. Great. I mean, couple of great catches by, well, Johnson with a big run on a tight end screen. And then the young man, number 18, Elijah Beza, made
Yeah.
an unbelievable catch by an unreal throw by Guerra, and was absolutely took a missile shot to his chest, and it was roughing the passer on that. It was a little late. That's the end of the quarter.
Be quarter, yeah, and the clock's showing 8 minutes, so that's what's going on.
That's how they trick the announcers, by not having the clock.
Well, there's only so much we can do, right, Coach?
Correct.
I think we got time to let's try a 1-minute break, and we'll be back. That is the end of the first quarter of play. NMMI in the lead 7-0, but it is 4th and goal for the Apaches. Tell you what, let's change this to a 30. I don't want to miss it. You're listening to NCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVP TV and AM 600 KTBB. Back in 30 seconds.
Looks like 4th and goal for the Apaches.
Miss it anyway, aren't I?
Yeah, we're going to miss this 4th down play. Oh, he was going toward the line. Face mask. Oh, no. All right.
Stop.
We're back, Dwayne.
All right. Go ahead, Coach. Tell what just happened on that one.
Well, on that 4th down play, tried a wide receiver sweep to the left side, and the Broncos did a great job of stringing it out, and the pursuit got there to make a 4th down stand there, and the Broncos will take over on downs.
Yeah, the troops showed up. So, again, the Broncos take over on downs. We do apologize on the time. We just have no way to know what that is. So, they're going to take over. Can we tell where they're at, Coach? Let me see. They've got to be down around the 3 because the first down is out to the 13. See it out here?
No, I believe that we are somewhere closer to the 10-yard line, maybe the 9 or 8-yard line there.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, let me see, 20. Okay, that's out to the 17, so they're about the 7. This is where they're going to start.
There's a handoff to Dunhu out of the traditional I formation there. Maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, we'll see if the marker guy moves his marker. I had to do a game at Carlsbad from the stadium light. We're going to give him 2 on the play, out to the 9 for Donahoe.
And apologies out there. I keep saying Donahoe, and it's Donahoe. I apologize.
I think it is Donahoe, correct? Yes. Oh, okay. We got official word from his girlfriend right here.
That always helps.
Yeah, it's nice to have official words around. All right, going to shift it up a little bit. 1 receiver out to each side for NMMI. Quarterback will go under center.
Another hand off to Donahoe there.
Yeah, not much there. Good hard push, but I think maybe a yard on the play. Let's see if they move the first down marker at all.
That is.
Yeah, they're going to move it a little bit, about a yard.
3rd and 7.
Kind of what I thought. Yep, 3rd and 7 coming up. Again, we're in the 2nd quarter. We don't have a functioning clock. So, but if I had to guess, what do you think? We're about the 12-minute mark, something like that?
Yes, sir.
And a 7-0 lead right now by the NMMI Broncos with the ball, but deep in their own territory as they got the goal line stand and held the Apaches.
Trips to the right here.
Yep, 1 receiver out left.
Quarterback draw.
Yeah, he did.
Good running by South.
I think he calls his own number, don't you?
And that time the Apaches went straight man, and the linebacker just chose the wrong hole, and South made a good cut and made a miss.
Yeah, and got 10 on the play, but
at least 10.
I think they're giving him the green light to decide if he wants to do that or not, don't you think?
Yes, sir. Don't know if it's a RPO option for him.
Because he's done about 4 of those, and all but 1 has been pretty successful.
There's an oddity now in football. There's a fullback lined up back there.
Yeah, how about that?
I formation for the Broncos.
Don't see that very often. 1 receiver out to each side. Looked like somebody
Gonna
moved.
throw the fade here.
Yeah, here it comes. That's going to be, should be.
It's
there
going to be
it
pass
is.
interference on number 14.
Yeah, I was going to say, he cut in front.
Number 14 for the Apaches is Javis Lyons at Trinidad. He's a redshirt sophomore.
So you can redshirt in JUCO too.
Yes, sir.
I did not know that. Man, I'm glad you're here.
Sure. Well, there's a number of things. Who knows? I mean, obviously after the COVID deal, a number of kids got a number of different years, and
Well, they're going to move
things
that
like
out
that.
to the 34, so it's not like the pros then. It's a 15-yarder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's just like Division One then. It's not. It doesn't go where the foul occurred.
Correct.
15 yards. Okay. I like that better.
Trips
I hate
left
those
here.
50-yard penalties.
Draw up the middle, and that's well played.
Yeah, Donahoe will go down to the 34. Yeah, really no gain on the play on that one, Coach.
I think that's Manny Lawton for the Apaches there. Emmanuel Lawton, 6'1", 290-pound tackle out of Katy, Texas.
They make caps there. Did you know that?
In Katy?
Katy, Texas. Big cap company.
Wow.
Katy Cap Company. I get caps from them all the time that we do for our customers. All right, here we go. It's going to be twins left. Man in motion back up to the top. One receiver right. Shotgun formation. Donahoe will fake it.
Bubble
throw.
screen
Yeah.
out there. Oh, well played. Oh, and it's a missed tackle.
Yeah, he gets out of it and gets pushed out of bounds. Wow. That should have been a gain of about 2, and he turned it in to much more. Actually, they're going to say he stepped out at the 40, I believe. Yep, that's what they're going to say. So it's a gain of 6. Looked like it could be about 12 for a minute.
Right. Big
But
hit
it's good
delivered
for
there
6.
by number 5, Jared Lockhart, but he just didn't wrap up.
So NMMI has moved from their own 7 out to their own 40, and we're guessing we're at about the 10-minute mark in the second quarter with NMMI leading at 7-0 over 4-0.
That was
Tyler.
Jannard Lockhart on that big hit, but not wrapping up. He's now moved back to safety.
Nobody out left now for NMMI.
Rolling down.
Yep.
Oh,
rolling,
good coverage
looking.
to throw this ball.
Tell you what, he's
South lets it go deep, and he floats it up. Oh, and it's dropped.
floated on him, and it should have been picked.
Should have been picked, and once again, that was Jannard Lockhart. Just could not hold on to that ball.
Now, Coach, I'm going to ask you something since you were a coach. A quarterback, if he throws to a receiver and he's got 1 or 2 feet on the ground and he drops it, shouldn't there be a stat for receiver drops that goes against the receiver and
Not the
is
quarterback.
added to the quarterback? I mean, if I throw you a ball and I hit you in the chest and you drop it, is that my fault?
No, sir.
It is not. Okay, punt coming up for NMMI. Snap is back. It's going to leave at the 30. Left-footed kicker. Fair catch is called for, and we're going to see that a lot. Nice fair catch made.
33 again.
And, and that's going to be about the 27-yard line, Coach. So
Khalil Ewell back there making the fair catch.
yeah, we're trying to take breaks, but they moved this along so quick. We need to have TV timeouts. You know what I mean? You ever been to a Tech game?
Yes, sir.
And they do what they feel like they're like 8 minutes.
And they do have media timeouts here at Bronco basketball games.
Do they? Okay.
But not at any Bronco baseball game or Bronco volleyball game.
So for the Apaches, wind at their back this time. They'll start at their own 23-yard line, trailing 7-0. We guess about 8 minutes left before
Where with the draw to Burgess.
Yep, Burgess, good runner. He's a tough runner.
He is. Good open field tackle there by the Bronco safety.
Gain of 7 on the play by Burgess, and they're going no huddle. They're just going right back to it here.
That's Jalen Chister on the tackle again.
Shotgun,
We're
twins
back.
to both sides. Somebody moves, so.
Oh, that's going to be an interception off the deflection there. Let's hope the Broncos weren't lined up off sides.
Yeah, if it's against the Broncos, they'll negate the interception.
I see him pointing, indicating it might be against the Apaches
But
here.
did they blow the whistle, though, before the play took place? That's another thing to consider.
They did not blow the whistle. That play happened. So if it was a legal formation, you don't got to blow the whistle, Dad. And it looks like that's going to be the call. Illegal
Wow,
formation.
illegal formation.
Yeah, now on procedure and offside, you blow it dead. But if it's an illegal formation, you let the play happen.
Okay.
Fortunately
so it
for the
can
Broncos.
still, that's interesting. Man, I'm learning a lot. I may have to pay you when this is all over with.
Was that Jordan Grant right there on the interception, number 2 for the Broncos?
Well, you know what's funny? The receiver had it, and it just popped out of his chest, and he just grabbed it, kind of like, hey, thanks.
Right.
So they're going to have it at the 27-yard line.
Good field position here.
Of Tyler. Yeah, best field position. They lead it. We're assuming we're about the 7-minute mark in the second quarter. So first turnover, if I'm not mistaken, coach, of the game, correct?
Correct. Yep. Donahoe and South in the backfield again.
So headed to the top. That'll leave
It'll
one
be
receiver.
A little bit of reverse.
Oh, he was thinking to throw it. He still is.
Still does.
And
it's going to be a
touchdown.
I don't see any laundry
I don't
there.
either, and I was checking to see if he went across the line of scrimmage.
Wide receiver pass from Jeremiah Porter. Complete.
Yeah, that's going to go as a 27-yard touchdown.
Right, from Porter to Samuel Monfrey, a wide receiver out of Hudson, Florida. 6 foot, 190-pound receiver, and the Broncos are going to have a
two-possession lead.
Two-possession lead.
Kick to follow here. Number 92, the kicker, kicking into the wind, but a PAT, pretty short. On the way, this one looks a lot better.
Kept a good low.
Looks good, yeah.
Good job.
14-0 is your score. NMMI in the lead over the Tyler Junior College Apaches. We're assuming we're at about the 6-minute mark in the second quarter of play, so we're going to take a break. And the score again, 14-0. NMMI in the lead, somewhere around the 6-minute mark in the second quarter of play. Hope you're enjoying NCAA JCAA, I've been saying that wrong, in JCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVP TV and AM 600 KTBB. Back in 30 seconds. Let's do that.
Return by number 11, Amari Henry. Tackled by NMMI, number 15, Ricky Harding, and number 16, AJ Rocha.
Okay. Welcome back, Roswell, New Mexico. Dwayne Chase along with Coach V. Coach, good kickoff coverage, and for the Apaches, they'll start at the 25. We're assuming around the 5-minute mark here in the second half, and probably a pretty important possession here for the Apaches.
Yeah, good coverage there by Ricky Harding on the kickoff team there from Bushnell, Florida. 6'1", 210-pound linebacker playing special teams there.
All right, shotgun formation, twins right, one receiver way out left.
Draw up the middle to Burgess. He's got room.
He's got a lot of room. Burgess all the way out to the 49. I believe they're going to spot him at the 50. So a 25-yard run by Burgess, Coach.
Great job there.
Quick hit. Tyler, no huddle. Receivers come out. Twins left, one receiver right.
Little handoff.
Go to Burgess again. Same hole, and Burgess, he'll scoot down to the 43. Little bit of activity out here on the edge after the play.
Good tackle there.
That's why you wear pads, right, Coach?
Right, yeah, good tackle by Jackson Brown. Safety there for the Broncos out of Mesa, Arizona.
It's always fun to sit down by the players. Sometimes, I'm in a booth that's half a mile away. I don't hear all this stuff. Twins to both sides now. Shotgun formation, one back set. Poor Tyler, they've moved down to the NMMI 43-yard line.
Broncos with the blitz here.
Deep drop, pass deep, and
it's going to be a pick.
Be picked off.
Number 3.
Yep, number 3. The receiver fell down. He almost lost the ball, but he's going to bring it back to the 41-yard line.
Dalen Chister there.
That's the second pick on the second possession. And again, we're going to assume we're around the 4-minute mark. Yeah, and he, the interception looked like it was a hot potato, kind of bobbling as he went by. But he held on.
The wide receiver for the Apaches there fell down, and Guerra kind of led him, and he led it right to Dalen Chister.
It really wasn't a bad throw, just the receiver slipped, and last man standing was Nimmy.
You might be wanting one of the stats for that when the receiver falls down and throws it right to the DP.
Yeah, I don't know. The rules committee doesn't listen to me at all.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. One receiver out wide both ways, shotgun, 2-step drop for South. He's going to throw it up over the top, and that is going to be. You think they're going to call interference on that?
I think it's an interception, but there is a flag on it. And it is defensive pass interference.
I thought he looked right at the end like he pushed off to get that little bit of clearance to get the pick.
It is defensive pass interference, maybe holding more than pass interference there, but the ball was in the air and he had his hands all over the receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to put him down to the 26.
Yeah, and that was on number 6 of the Apaches, Willie Nelson, with the hold there.
I love that. Willie Nelson in the house. I'm looking for the guitar, Coach. I don't see it.
No guitar out there.
Sometimes he just sings. All right, Nimmy comes out after the pass interference, first down. They'll have twins left, one receiver right. Going to hand it off to Donahoe, and he will. Man, he's a workhorse. He just gets those tough yards up the middle.
Donahoe made a great move in the hole. Number 25, looks like the outside linebacker for the Apaches was sitting right there, and he came in and just made that young man tackle there. Great cut to the outside by Donahoe there.
They'll give him 4 on the play. We've got to be getting, I would think, pretty close to halftime. 3-minute mark maybe, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in that range.
The clock here is broken, so
now
we apologize.
It's showing 8:26. It keeps going up. It's going in the wrong direction.
It's going the wrong way. 2nd and 6 for Nimmy. Twins out to the right, one receiver left.
New back, number 44.
There's a handoff, and that's a new running back in there. Or a different running back, I should say.
Number 44. Number 44 for the Broncos right there is Odalis Cardenas. He's a running back out of Lovington, New Mexico.
Lovington, how about that? For those of you on the USA side of listening, that's the home of Brian Urlacher, linebacker for the Chicago Bears.
Right, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame linebacker, yep. Do you know what his record he holds in New Mexico is for?
Probably the most receptions, maybe.
Receptions. Yeah, and he was a defensive linebacker. Most receptions in New Mexico history.
Correct.
First down and goal it is. There looks like they're at the 9-yard line. There's a handoff. Good hard running again. Probably down to, the 5 maybe?
Yeah, Donahoe with some tough sledding right there.
We've got to wait until they move the yardage marker to tell where they're at. We had no perspectives because we're basically at field level. So if you're listening, you're like, why do those guys not know where they're at? We can't see it.
Great push there by Daniel Folksy, the right tackle.
They didn't give him any yardage on the play. I don't believe.
Running right over there behind big number 55, Carlos Tatupu out of Reedley, California.
2nd and goal from, it looks like the 10.
South back, going to throw the flare out to the flat. And
too
it's covered
tall,
well.
off the hands, incomplete.
That pass intended for Odalis Cardenas once again.
And you said he's from Lovington.
Yes, sir. I got that information right here from Sports Information Director.
That's a nice program they put together here.
Yes, sir. Jeff Gunn does a great job here at New Mexico Military with the Sports Information Department.
Maybe at halftime, too, we can talk about maybe the most famous person to ever come to Nimmy, the one Roger Staubach.
Correct.
And then kind of got a new superstar emerging, Diego Pavia.
Pavia, yes.
Pavia.
Oh, quarterback draw, and it's read well. South is smothered there by big number 6.
Yeah,
Number 9, Manny Lawton.
Yeah, it looks like they're back to about the 12, so I'm going to say a loss of 2 on that one. So it looks like we're going to get a field goal attempt maybe, huh?
Yes, sir. Field goal attempt by the long kicker, 89.
So they're going to set up at about the 17, so it'll be about a 27-yarder. Oh, yeah, they're bringing in the long kicker. You're right. Yep, and they need to because the other guy's kicks may not get there. This guy's good.
Directly into the wind here.
Yeah,
good kick.
Looks like he got plenty of it, and he did.
It is good.
Wow. How about that? Field goal from 27 yards is good. That will make your score 17-0. NMMI in the lead. If I hurry, we can take a 30-second break. And do want to thank you for listening as we think we're about the 2-minute mark, maybe 3-minute mark before halftime. 17-0, NMMI in the lead. You're listening to NJCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB. Back in 30 seconds.
21 seconds on the game clock. 5, 2, 4, 17, 0.
Called fair
We're
catch,
back.
I think. Welcome back on the kickoff. I believe we saw a fair catch, right? And then
We sure did.
And then he ran with it, which you can't do.
That is correct. That was fair caught, I believe, by number 4. No, that wouldn't be Trey Guerra. They wouldn't have him out there. I want to say maybe number 1 on that. James Lee,
Looks
freshman.
like they're going to start about the 25. And we don't know, again, how much time left. We think around 2 or 3 minutes before halftime, but kind of starting to get critical for the Apaches to get on the board here, Coach.
It is, but junior college football, much like NCAA football, can tend to be a high-scoring affair.
Right.
These offenses nowadays, they just get going. There's a great play in the backfield.
Yeah, no gain whatsoever. They just swamped Burgess on that one.
Boy, number 45 for the Broncos, outside linebacker there, Timo Hannewald out of Germany, making a great play in the backfield there, tackle for a loss.
That's amazing how many of these players are from their international players. Had no idea. 2nd and 10 now for the Apaches. They're at their own 25-yard line, trailing 17-0. 2 to 3 minutes, we assume, before halftime. The pass out in the flat, Burgess, and he is hit instantly. And he's going to lose, what do you think, about 6?
Yes, sir.
Something like that. He's going to go back to the 19-yard line.
Man, what a great play there by number 27 for the Broncos, Shamar Berryhill, outside linebacker out of Peoria, Arizona.
No huddle for the Apaches. Twins to the right, headed left to right on your radio dial, headed towards the north end zone. Wind at their back.
What do you say there, 3rd and 25, 30?
Yeah, about 25, yeah. Long way to go.
We're deep.
Quarterback, he's going to try and get a bunch of it here. And that's
Great
a nice
play by number 41.
Yeah, busted it up. Incomplete.
Outstanding coverage by Eduardo Carrillo.
Had a nice slant there. Quarterback hit him, but again, as you mentioned, Coach, great tackle, so that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, deep in there on the route there. Once again, played by Carrillo, cornerback out of Cañetillo, Texas.
So Porter will go back. He's out of Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Now for the Broncos, that would be
the return man. Punt is away. He's going to try and return this one. No fair catch. He'll juke the first guy. It's going to pay off. He gets hammered. Uh-oh.
That may be a face mask there.
Yeah, or horse collar, one of the two.
You were right. Tarpon Springs, you're right. That was Jeremiah Porter.
He kind of went the wrong direction after or at the point of the tackle, so we'll see what they say. He'll return it out to the 50, but we do have a flag on the play. See what they come up with. They're visiting. I didn't realize there were this many officials at a college game.
Yeah, 8 guys.
8 of them. Yeah.
Add one more and they'd have an NFL crew.
What'd they call?
Hold, it looked like, on the number 24 for the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
Down the outside edge.
Yep, that's going to take it all the way back to the 35, so that's a big penalty. Big penalty against NMMI on that one. It was all the way across the field. We apologize. Looked like might be a face mask, but it was not. So
yeah,
it's going to be a hold on NMMI.
Yeah, Hammond Russell being called for a hold at a linebacker out of Columbus, Ohio.
Got to be getting close to halftime. 3 minutes, we guess. So NMMI with the ball in a 17-point lead.
Trips to the left here.
One receiver out to the other side. He's going to come on a jet sweep, I guess they call that, right?
Yes, sir.
And that goes nowhere. They're actually going to lose about 3 on the play.
Good job by number 24 for the Apaches, stringing that out all the way out to the sideline here and allowing his buddies to come up make a play. That was Ruben Tashinalobo out of Byron Nelson High School.
Byron Nelson.
Imagine that's somewhere in Texas, huh?
Probably. Be my
Byron
bet.
Nelson, I believe he's a famous golfer.
He is a famous golfer. Fort Worth area, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The Byron Nelson Open. All right. Second down, we'll call it 13 for NMMI. One receiver out to the left, one right. Flag flies. Somebody moved, I believe is what that was. It'll go incomplete. So
Sal took a shot on that play.
Do you think it's a penalty you take if you're the Apaches? Because it'd bring up 3rd and 13.
Offsides. Apaches lined up in the neutral zone. Now that's the difference between high school and college right there. In high school, that's blown dead. And in college, that play is allowed to continue.
Live play. Okay.
Just
Mark
like
off
in the
5.
pros. I'm sure South was wishing that might have been blown dead because he took a shot from number 95 for the Apaches. And that is not one small individual. That is Xavier Trotter, 6'3", 250-pound tackle out of Argyle, Texas.
That's when you tell your coach, don't call that again. Twins left, one receiver
Blitz.
right. Gonna hand it off to Donahoe, and he'll take it out to the 39. He'll get 2 on the play. Yeah, the clock now up to 8:39, which is not close.
Yes, going in the wrong direction. Let's see if the Broncos go back here to that quarterback draw.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 for them. They have the ball at their own 39-yard line. They lead it 17-0.
Notice the Apaches here with the Broncos going into the wind playing pretty much man coverage. When they had the wind at their back, they were playing a little more shell or zone coverage there, and South was able to take advantage and get some big runs.
Yeah, they've stopped that, haven't they, for
Yes,
the most
sir.
part? Is that halftime
2-minute
or 2
warning.
minute? Okay, so we
2-minute
were
warning.
fairly close. 2-minute warning before halftime. 17-0 is your score. So we'll take a 30-second break and be back. And it is, again, 17-0. NMMI in the lead over the Tyler Junior College Apaches. Thanks for listening to NJCAA. I struggle with that. Football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSBPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB in Tyler, Texas. Back in 30 seconds. All right, welcome back. We're 2-minute warning, and they're going to work on the clock, we've been told, so that we know exactly what's going on clockwise. It's about all I know what's going on, but at least I know the clock.
Sure.
All right, NMMI's going to be looking at a 3rd and 7, ball at their own 39. 2 minutes left here before halftime. They lead it 17-0. Snap is back. There's that same play we just talked about. And quarterback is going to take big advantage, and he's all the way down inside the 30. What do you think about the 27 maybe?
Yes, sir. Great call there by the Broncos. South with some fine running. Started to his right and wound up cutting that in the second level all the way back across and outrun a Apache linebacker.
Yeah, no flags on the play, so they're going to actually put him at the 29. So, some 32-yard run by South.
Some excellent blocking.
Kind of interesting. We just talked about they hadn't run that in a while. And, South can pick them up and put them down, can he?
Yes, sir.
So he'll look at one receiver left, one receiver right. Lone back is Donahoe.
We're trips left with a tight end to the left.
Oh, yep, they shifted. You're right. Going to give it to Donahoe. Looking for a hole, and he had one for a split second, but it closed quickly, and no gain on the play.
Fine play there by the middle linebacker for the Apaches, David Lange.
Yeah, I think they decided to take a timeout, but we'll just keep it right here, Coach, and catch up on some things. Again, kind of recap a little bit. Around, we think, the 13-minute mark in the first, it was Donahoe with an 8-yard run to put NMMI up 7-0. 2 turnovers have helped in this lead, as it was Porter to Monfrey, is that what you said?
Correct.
Yeah, and that was a wide receiver pass, so a really nice play by NMMI, but that one for 27 yards put him up 14-0. And then number 89, the long kicker for NMMI, he hit a 27-yard field goal, and he's from Sweden.
Bet he's played a game of soccer, too. What do you think?
Yes, he can boot it for sure. All right, trips to the right. Nobody out left. They're going to give it to Hogue, and he gets some hard yardage, maybe 2.
Timeout Apaches there. They're wanting to see if they can get a possession here before the half, thinking, I'm assuming that maybe they'll get the ball since the Broncos received.
Yeah, gain of 2 on that play, down to the 27. But, right here, just, your coach, they're on your end of the field. Wouldn't you just want the clock to run out if it were you, or no?
Well, I imagine that defensive coordinator for the Apaches is thinking this is a decent kick into the wind here. If we can get a stop, we have some explosive players of our own. Maybe they take a chance.
And the wind at your back.
And the wind at the back. So that could be the thinking here. Of course, now that I'm retired from coaching, my crystal ball is always 20/20. I can tell any coach in the world what mistake they made.
So you're ready to officiate anything since you know everything as a fan, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. It's going to be trips right, one receiver left. South,
quarterback
draw. Keep it again. This time they're all over him and no gain on the play. Good defensive effort by the Apaches.
Yes, number 15 there, T.J. Williams, outside linebacker, along with number 93 for the Apaches, Carson Johnson.
So another timeout taken.
And that might be the first time that South has not picked up a yard.
Yeah, exactly. I know every run he's had, the shortest run he'd had was a 3-yarder, but he's probably averaged in about 15. As he does that, he kind of takes one step back, looks for a hole, and then takes off.
Yes.
And he's a big kid. What'd you say, 6'4", 210 or something?
They list South as 6'5", 212. That's a good-sized young man.
Yeah. I'd hate that tackling.
Correct.
Unless I was his size.
Bet you.
Then it wouldn't bother me, I don't think.
maybe get Coach Cook out here. Maybe
but,
try to.
But I'm not. I'm a few inches shorter and a few pounds heavier.
That's a good-looking athlete out there. This
All
is
right.
where the Bronco coach is going to make his money here. A 4th down call. Oh, and there's going to be procedure.
Yeah,
they had the wheel route called there to Porter.
Yeah, he went ahead and threw it just in case, but I think somebody on the Broncos jumped, don't you?
To my point of view, it looked like big number 51, or not 51, 52 for the Broncos. Isaiah Gonzalez. He's a guard there out of Las Cruces. Mood, and it's going to go against the Apaches.
I didn't see that. All right. Well, that's going to make that 4th down a little bit shorter. It was 4th and 8. That's going to be 4th and 3.
Now a very manageable 4th down.
You see how I did that math in my head so fast? Wasn't that really good?
That's outstanding. I mean, just a tribute to public education right there.
No, and I didn't even have a calculator. Remind me at halftime, too, to mention the referees, the umpires out. Officials, I guess you would call it. Okay, 4th and 4 for NMMI. Looks like they're going to have twins left. One receiver right. Donahoe the lone back.
Tight end to the right.
Got to be down to, what, about a minute, you think? Something like that?
Shifting to trips here to the left and tight end to the right. Oh, nice little trickery. It's going to be out in the flat to Donahoe, and he overthrows him.
And he had it, too.
Donahoe had some room in front of him.
He may not have scored, but he would at least have had the first down on that one. So over on downs.
Not only an incompletion, but that stops the clock. Who knows how far
And now we'll see. You talked about the defensive coordinator for Tyler trying to get a stop, get the ball back, and they've done that now. So now see if they can do anything with it. With not a whole lot of time left. Let's see. They're spotted at about the, 23 maybe?
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Broncos not as deep as I thought they'd be playing. I thought they'd be playing a little more prevent here.
Yeah,
Burgess not in the backfield this time. There's a out pattern here to number 18.
Yeah, good for yardage out to the 35. That's good for about 12 and getting out of bounds, Coach.
That's Elijah Beza on the reception there. Been one of the favorite targets of Guerra. Trey Guerra.
So no huddle. They'll set up quickly. Twins left, twins right. Shotgun formation, first down. There's a flag. So same exact play, but probably somebody moved would be my bet.
They did signal it incomplete. Illegal formation.
Yeah, they threw that quick.
Somebody's either lining up in the backfield, too many men in the backfield,
or the receiver's not on. You know, again, not that anybody cares what I think about the rules, but
it's number 70. He's not breaking the center's hip with his helmet.
Yeah, and that's stupid. Get rid of all that dumb stuff, right? Well, I mean, just let them get out there if they want to squat or stand up or whatever. I don't know where all those rules come from. Here we go.
We're under pressure. Just off the hand.
Yeah, he missed his guy, and he hit a NMMI receiver, defensive receiver. Is there such a thing, a defensive receiver?
I think that was Avon Hatchett, a linebacker out of Hudson, Florida. That ball went right into his breadbasket.
Hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands.
Yes. He was surprised because it went right through the running back.
Yeah, the quarterback was, moving, and it's hard to throw, but he threw it behind his receiver. So here we go again, drop, throw, catch made, and that's going to be out and good for about 8 yards on the play, out to the 37.
Reception there by Trey Lange, number 3 for the Apaches.
No huddle going quick, same exact play. And he'll stretch and get out. Yep, good job. Out to the 47. That's a gain of 10.
Caught there by Amari Henry, number 11, out of Keller, Texas.
Kind of a hurry-up offense. And, again, we apologize. We don't know how much time is left. It's got to be under a minute, though, right? Wouldn't you think?
That would be my guess. But if I'm guessing right today, then I need to go get me a Powerball ticket.
Get your Powerball. All right, from their own 45, first and 10. for the Apaches. Twins to both sides.
Broncos in a soft
A
zone.
lot of time, and that throw was to who?
Little miscommunication.
Yeah, nobody was in that area.
Maybe intended for Beza, but he ran a go route, and then Guerra thought he was going to run a stop route here on the outside.
Yeah, and you got to let go of that ball based on where you think they're going to be.
Correct. And Guerra on a timing route there. He hit his back foot and he let go of that ball.
Upside to this is the clock stops.
Yes.
So 2nd and 10, again from their own 45-yard line.
Number 6, Jamari Evans in now out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana for a Beza. Beza just ran 5 solid routes there. Needed a breather.
Snap is back. Twins to both sides. There's that out route again, and he's real close to a first down.
He's going to be just short.
Maybe they're going to spot him at the 46. You're right.
Amari Henry once again on the reception there.
A gain of 9 on the play. Yeah, those little out routes, they've gotten 8, 10, incomplete, and 9. So 3 out of 4, basically good for an average of 10.
Yeah, they're now in the into Bronco territory.
So 1 receiver to the near side. Looks like Twins out to the other side. Hard to tell. Apologize. Snap is back. Going to come out here in the flat. Try and make some people miss, and they do not. Forward progress at the 45. Coach, they'll get a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, that was Gents Hilburn out of Cheney, Washington.
All right, Twins to both sides.
Fourth
Snap
down.
is back. Yep, going for it.
Herrera's going to pick up the first down.
Nice job by Herrera. Good decision, and he'll get the first down to the 40-yard line.
See if he's got to come out of play. His helmet came up. No, that's a high school rule.
Yeah, they said something about the helmet coming off.
Signaling the clock. He's got to come out of play. Clock's off.
Kind of interesting, the difference of the rules between high school and college. Well, you know, even in New Mexico and Texas, they're very different.
The signaling, though, the coach is asking, why do we have to send them off when the clock stopped on the pickup of a first down? Inside of 2 minutes there, I believe the clock stops on each first down.
So he'll stay.
Nope, they're going to bring him out.
Yep.
That'll bring in number 10, Luke Ulrich.
He'll go under center, probably for 1 play. Yep, he'll just down it, come back out.
Ulrich out of Colleyville, Texas. He downs the ball here. Boy, I wish I knew how much time there was.
He knows. Yep, 30 seconds.
30 seconds left here. We're estimating here about 30 seconds to play in this first half.
Yeah, Twins to both sides from the NMMI 40-yard line. Tyler on the move. 2-step drop, all kinds of time.
And it's
picked off. Wow. That's
number 27.
Just a bad throw. Pick number 3.
That's Shamar Berryhill, linebacker out of Peoria, Arizona, with the interception.
Wow, that's tough. That's the 3rd pick of the first half for Tyler.
There is a flag on the play. Let's see, is it post whistle? I'm anticipating a unsportsmanlike, maybe against the Apaches here. Little extracurricular after
a little bit of frustration.
Yes.
They haven't signaled yet, have they? Here they come.
See if it goes both ways here. Offsetting, unsportsmanlike.
Wow.
Number 3.
So they got to replay it, right? Unsportsmanlike both ways.
It's going to be ball right there where
so it was after the interception.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Where Shamari Berryhill went down, that's where the Broncos will maintain.
All right. Probably NMMI will just take a knee here. There's only 5 seconds left before the half. But the interception will stand. But all the, as you called it, Coach V, the extracurricular was after the play.
Once again, Guerra just anticipating an in route, and his slot receiver there ran to the slot or up the seam there, and Guerra threw the in ball, and it was right the Bronco linebacker got up underneath right into that.
Yeah, one of the picks, the receiver slipped.
The other was
one of them, it was off the receiver's chest, but that one was a legit pick. He just missed his guy.
Yes, sir.
All right, probably going to down it. They will. That will do it. We're at halftime, and at the half, your score is NMMI. Excuse me, the Broncos, as they lead it 17-0 over the Tyler Junior College Apaches. So with that said, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and we will be back. Again, 17-0 your score. We're at the half here in Roswell. Thanks for listening to NGCAA Football from Roswell, New Mexico, right here on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB in Tyler, Texas. Back in 3 minutes. Yes, we are. Sorry about that, folks. Coach V, we're back, and we were just noticing or admiring the fact that the clock is working.
Yes, that's a...
What they had to do is I guess the wireless version of it didn't work. So they moved the clock, which was in front of us, down right by the scoreboard so that they hardwired it. So we will have a clock in the third and fourth quarters, so we hope that helps you out. And this is statistics.
for the half, I believe.
All right.
Or maybe
Boy, you know, this
the
reminds
Broncos.
me of basketball at the pit. I always tease my color commentator, whoever that is, who typically keeps statistics, that they do a fantastic job when we go to the pit. And part of it's because the pit provides, they have a statistician and 2 spotters that talk into their headset, and they just sit there and type in everything. So they have steals, blocks, you know, you name it. And anyway, he reads those off, and I say, man, you got this down pat. But it's a team of people doing it, and we've got the same thing here at NMMI.
Exactly, yes. Tanner and his group of guys, they do a wonderful job of equipping us and keeping us up to date, along with Jeff Gunn here at New Mexico Military.
And, you know, I will say the weather has stayed consistent. It's sunny, and the wind still probably 15, 20 miles an hour. Dead out of the south, per se, pretty much. Just the flag down on the north end is pretty much blowing north.
It is blowing directly to that north side, so we'll see how this second half unfolds. You know, I feel for those young cadets over there. They're out in the sun directly.
Boy, they are. Yeah, the band and all of them, all out there. Coach V, let's talk a little bit. Let's recap the scoring in this one. It started with NMMI on their second possession. It was a 10-play drive, and they took it from their own 35. They capped it with a Donahoe 8-yard run, and the kick by Nelson was good. Take a 7-point lead. Then both teams had to punt. Well, on downs for Tyler, and then a punt by NMMI. But then it was a pick by NMMI, and this was the pick that bounced off the receiver's chest, and there was a whistle on the play. So I think he kind of probably got caught up in the whistle and didn't watch the ball all the way in. Bounced off his chest, and NMMI guy snags it. Yeah, basically grabbed it right off his chest. And that was the first pick. But then they run a receiver reverse, and it's Porter to Monfrey, and that's a 27-yard play, and it put NMMI up 14-0. Other scoring for NMMI, it was an 8-yard drive that started at their own 41, capped by the long kicker kicking one from 27 yards out, and that's your scoring. But I guess the biggest thing that jumps out to me, you know, the stats always tell numbers and stories when you look at them. And the problem has been for the Apaches is 3 picks in this one. 3 turnovers, and they had no takeaways.
That's correct. The turnovers have been costly for them. I mean, the very first one was deep in their own territory. And then early on in this ball game, the Apaches suffered the penalty bug there. They were playing extremely sloppy, putting themselves behind the sticks early on in this contest, and forcing Guerra there to have to make some deeper throws, and that led to some of those picks, a misread, and a receiver fell down, and he threw that second pick. The third pick was late there in the half, where a misread or miscommunication.
Yeah, and really of the 3 interceptions, that's the only one that you could point at the quarterback and go, you know, he just missed his guy. Because the other ones were, you know, somewhat flukish a little bit.
Correct.
But still, officially, they're picks. So
they are.
3 takeaways for NMMI and none for the Apaches.
And one thing I noticed is the Broncos really cleaned up their ball game. They had some costly penalties early, and apparently decided to clean up their half, but played a much more disciplined second half of the first half, I should say, and capitalized on those turnovers.
All right, well, we're at the half. Again, it is NMMI, the Broncos, leading the Apaches by a score of 17-0. So, Coach, why don't we take another 3-minute break? And while we're on this one, we apologize. We missed the top of the hour station identification. So, for 600 AM KTBB in Tyler and Longview, if you'd like to do a station ID at this point, that'd probably be good. We're going to take another 3-minute break. Again, we're at the half. You're listening to football right here on NGCAA. And my name is Dwayne Chase and Coach V alongside. We'll take a 3-minute break and be back. Welcome back to the campus of NMMI. They call it New Mexico Military Institute. And we've got some stats to go over with you. Again, we're at the half. About 12 minutes left before halftime is over. Trey Guerrera, is that how you say that? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Quarterback for the Apaches. 17 attempts, 12 completions on the afternoon. Now, okay, I've been hitting you with all these rules, right? If you throw it to the other guy, technically that's a completion, right?
It is technically a completion, but not the one you want to be.
Wrong guy. Okay. 3 picks on the afternoon, though, for the quarterbacks for the Apaches, and pretty much that's the difference in the game. Not that you can single out one thing, but that's the thing that has hurt them, especially on that last drive. They actually were moving the ball. They had about a minute to go before halftime and an opportunity to maybe get on the board, but had to pick.
Yes, those picks are costly, and obviously, it's up to the Bronco offense to go ahead and capitalize on those. Really impressed with the running of the quarterback, South, for the Broncos. He's really made the Apache defense play in some critical.
Yeah, matter of fact,
pickups.
he's leading all carriers with 72 yards. Not surprising, right?
Not surprising. Maybe twice he's been stopped for minimal.
Well, that's all-purpose yards, but I guess, of course, all of his has been running. So, that would be it. Running back for Tyler is Burgess, and he has 51 yards on the afternoon. Only one carry where he lost 2 yards. Everything else has been positive for him. But let me see. It doesn't tell me
What's Donahoe have
how many
on it?
carries. Yeah, I was looking for that. We got a stat sheet. Is this it?
Yes, sir.
Did
Down
I-
here, let's see.
Yeah. Where did he go? There he is. He's had 12. Is that right? Yeah, 40 yards for him. And the longest is 10, and 12 carries. So if you do the math real quick on that, averaging about 3 yards a carry, a little bit more. But man, is he worked hard for those.
He is. He's a tough runner, stout build on him. Had the opportunity to chat with his folks there, and I said, boy, he looks like the new running back sensation for the Giants. So Scattaboo.
Yeah. He does.
Arizona
He does
State.
remind you of him, doesn't he?
Yeah, just a tough runner.
Just like, if you put a brick wall up and said, if you hit that brick wall right, here's this dot, you can go through it. And they do it.
He'd probably do it. Take a couple times, but he'd get it done.
It may take a couple times. So
Good interior running there by Donahoe. He's making guys miss in the hole, and he's not getting what they call the glamorous yards, but he's really grinding it out and giving the Broncos a lot of good carries.
Well, Coach, I mentioned we would talk about some of the, what's a good way to say it? The folks that probably anybody in the United States might be familiar with that has attended NMMI. And probably the most famous would be one Roger Staubach.
Correct. Roger came here and went to the Naval Academy, went on to win the Heisman Trophy there. Then from the Naval Academy, he did some service time and then joined the team that drafted him, my Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you're Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I am a big Cowboys
Oh,
fan.
my gosh, am I glad I didn't misspeak today.
You know, it takes a real fan in these days.
I don't have a problem with the Cowboys. I just have a real problem with their owner.
Correct. I am not a Jerry Jones fan, that's for darn sure.
Now, you do have to give the guy credit, though, that he's, financially, what he's done is unbelievable.
Yeah.
To do the marketing thing that he's done, and especially with a team that I think it's fair to say has not been successful for quite some time at the level that, everybody wants them to be.
Correct.
For still their gear and all the stuff and the devotion. Because, see, I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. I moved here from Florida. I was a military kid with the Air Force. My father, 20-year military Air Force guy. So I understand long droughts of not winning, being a Dolphins fan. But believe it or not, I was a paper boy for the Miami Herald the year that they went undefeated.
Oh, wow.
And
What, 72?
It was 72. There's an insert I have that was put into the newspaper that had the sports page story of every game and I still have that to this day. But it's the only time a team ever went undefeated. Now, in fairness to, all the teams since, the 90s, the season got extended.
Correct.
So it's, a little tougher to go undefeated, but still that's one thing you can hang your hat on. So, but let's move along and talk about a guy not at the fame level of Roger Staubach, but he's getting a lot of attention right now, and that's Diego Pavia.
Pavia, a young man out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, came here and led the Broncos to a national championship, and then really has parlayed the NIL system into quite a bit of bank for himself. Now,
He's financially done well.
Yes, going from New Mexico State, following the offensive coordinator.
Now let's do the years on that. 2 years here,
2 years here.
and then New Mexico State 1 year.
I believe he was 3 years at New Mexico State.
So how's he at Vanderbilt now? I was trying to do the math on that. Can you play for 6 years?
I believe technically his 2 years here at NMMI were almost null and void.
So he basically had 6 years,
That's
in
correct.
essence.
Correct.
So that's how he's at Vanderbilt now.
Yes.
And
Now-
going to be, when are they playing, this afternoon or like right now?
It might be
Taking on
as we
Alabama.
speak. Correct. And I'm sure those Alabama guys will remember him well.
Because they beat him last year.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But, you know, a young man that's really, you know, turned heads. You know, he's not a big stature or anything, but he is an all-heart.
Because you're not a big guy, right?
He's not big. Not big. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he quarterbacked out at Volcano Vista in Albuquerque. You know, then came here, kind of a unrecognized kid, you know, one of those ones, and said, I'm going to take my shot at the junior college level. Parlayed it into a Division I offer at New Mexico State. Then parlayed a bowl victory and a great career at New Mexico State into a transfer portal to Vanderbilt in the SEC.
And he's basically put them on the map.
Yes.
Vanderbilt was not at Division I level considered really any stronger than probably New Mexico State or UNM.
Correct.
And now people are looking at them and going,
Right.
these guys maybe could do something.
Yeah.
And you don't see that much anymore in college sports where, especially football. I mean, you know, obviously golf and some of the more individualized sports, you might see something like that. But to do that in the game of football to where a person can transform a team is kind of amazing.
It really is a testament to that young man. You know, speak to a lot of people from Albuquerque, and they speak about his wrestling background and his, you know, that gives him that intestinal fortitude just to want to not give up and win at all costs.
Interesting. Didn't know that. Well, tell you what, we got just enough time. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll come back. We've gone over the stats, talked a little history of NMMI here, and we'll take one more 2-minute break. And we do want to thank you for listening. We're at the half almost over with, as they've already put 15 minutes up on the clock. You know what? They got rid of 3 minutes, so we're going to stay here. I thought we had 3 minutes left, and I looked up, and all of a sudden it said 15. So teams are back out on the field. Upside for Tyler, Coach V, is they're going to get the kickoff to start the third quarter, and they're going to have the wind at their back.
Correct. Obviously a decision by the Broncos staff to make sure they're going to have the wind at their back during the fourth quarter.
Right.
Let's hope not necessary.
All right, here we go. Long kicker. Kick
Go.
is away. Going to be picked up at the 10. Number 0 with it. Oh, he's hit a gap. Oh, there comes a flag.
Again, Tilbert is
And
going
the
to be a
ball
fumble.
is
It's
out. And I think NMMI's got it. They do.
It's picked
wow.
up there.
Oh, my goodness.
Great strip tackle, and that ball was recovered by number 13, Jackson Brown, defensive back out of Mesa, Arizona.
And obviously the penalty was going to go against Tyler. And ouch, Coach, coming out of the locker room. That's tough.
Yeah, that's fourth turnover now for the Apaches.
And that took 15 seconds to get turnover number 4. The referees. Oh, we were going to talk about the referees. We have Jerry Springer Jr., Matthew Herbert, Richard Robles, Jonathan Torf, and then Jacob Whitler, Peter Peterson, Rick Carzillas, and Jason Brooks. And they're all, I understand correctly, from California. How about that?
Doing a fine job today. Broncos in
Good
great
position.
position to
Yeah, they're
extend
going to
this
spot
lead.
it at the 40. So the penalty was against Tyler, and it's going to be turnover number 4, and it's going to set South up with one receiver to each side. One back,
Blitz.
stays in the block. They're
He's
going
got
home
the
run
quarter.
ball, and they're probably going to throw a flag or no?
No flag, just lots of contact down there.
Underthrown maybe uncatchable? maybe?
He didn't give the signal for uncatchable, just he let all that contact go. Number 1 for the Apaches, Tyson Wilson, is like, man, he's asking that official
What's got to happen here, yeah.
What's Mr. Porter got to do to get a flag on him? That ball was intended for Porter on the outside.
So they win home run on the first play. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. They're at the Tyler 40. They lead it 17-0. We're just underway 14:36 here in the third, and appreciate them getting the clock going. That helps us a whole lot. And nice run down to the 37. Gain of 4 on the play by Scatterboo. Not Scatterboo. He runs like Scatterboo.
He does, Donahoe.
Yeah, Donahoe. May have to name him Scatterboo Jr. His parents are right here to my right. I could ask permission, right?
Yeah. He's making his own name.
He said we could do it. So,
big third.
What more permission do you need than other from the mom and dad? Oh, the girlfriend. All right, here we go. Third, and we'll call it 7.
Porter got single coverage out here.
Oh, yeah. Twins to the right, 1 receiver left.
He's going to run the crossing route. Oh, and they pick off each other.
Oh, they did. They bumped into each other and throw too high. Oh, man, they collided on those crossing routes.
Yeah, the new modern pick route there, and the 2 Bronco receivers collided with each other in the middle. That pass went incomplete by South.
Yeah, I wasn't sure one of them was going to get up there for a minute. But it'll go incomplete, so
Broncos are in no man's land.
They are, yeah. You might as well go for it. Yeah. 4th and 7 from the 37-yard line. The kick would be really too far. It'd be, what, a 56-yarder? Yeah, you're right, about 55. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 7. And did they get him to jump? They did. Wow.
I saw 2 move. It looks like the slot receiver to the top of the formation.
You think the offensive guy jumped maybe and pulled the other guy?
See who they call first on.
Yep, they're going to say that NMMI jumped first, I do believe. Yep.
Number 28.
So he kind of moved and got the Tyler guy, so that's going to change. They're not going to go for it now.
It's going to bring out the punter, number 87, Anthony Sokai out of Auckland, New Zealand.
Man, he looks just like 89. Doesn't he?
Not quite as big as
big?
The young man from Sweden, but
yeah. And he's from where, New Zealand?
Auckland, New Zealand.
How about that?
Maybe
Snap is back, left-footed, kick is away. And they're like, oh, yeah, that one's really off the side of his foot, and it'll go out of bounds. Look, here comes another flag.
Penalty flag here. Could be.
Well, that guy can toss that flag from over there. It's about a 30-yard flag toss.
Using the wind there.
Yeah. So another flag. We'll see. The kick, that was like off the inside part of his foot. He's left-footed and kicked it out on the west side of the field.
Yeah, it's like
normally if it goes off your foot, it's on the outside of your foot.
That's what you would want
maybe
that
style
to do. Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe the New Zealand style of bunting's a little bit
Could
different.
be, yeah. So what'd they call? We don't know yet, right?
No signal's been given. Here it is, a white hat.
Okay, so that's going to cost them 10.
Looks like they called that on T.J. Williams.
But, a good defensive stand there by Tyler to, at least have an opportunity to stay in this game.
Correct. Deep in their own territory now.
Yeah, let me see, 20, what are they on, their own 8 or something?
Yes, sir.
No, they're on the 11. Here we go. Clock is working again.
11-yard line, 13:24 to go.
Yeah, 13:24 on their 11. Burgess with, 52 yards in the first half?
Yeah, stacked up there by. Silo Hia.
He and Donahoe they're not built the same, but their running style's really similar.
Yes.
So no gain on that play. Still at the 11.
Whereas back.
Going to throw one here. Yep. Burgess wide open out in the flat.
That big tight end.
Yep, nice run.
That's Lonnie Johnson.
He's out to the 29-yard line?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that one was good for 18 yards.
First down for the Apaches there.
Simple little play they ran. Gonna hand it off.
Burgess
Here's
makes a guy
Burgess
miss in the
again.
backfield.
Yep,
He's
but
gonna
only
go.
one. That's a big hit. Ooh.
Number 15, Ricky Harding, with a big hit in the hole there.
Gained 1 yard on that one, and that was a tough 1 yard.
Burgess made one man miss in the hole and then ran into Harding right in the hole.
Yeah, kind of turned and got a chest plant. Second down. Here they come, throwing back out, and
There's
catch
Beza.
made. Going to get about, what are they going to spot him at? The 30, not much, about 5 yards on the play.
Beza on the out route there, going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yes, sir.
Almost looks like he pushed off, but not quite. Just kind of came out and turned around, went back up.
That's going to be one of those deals, Dwayne.
Let's go,
Depends who
big
you
boy.
ask.
Do what?
Depends who you ask. If you ask the Tyler coaches, that was
Right.
not a push off.
Yeah, good play, and the other guy, he pushed off.
Blitz by the Broncos.
Oh, his guy was not ready, incomplete.
Johnson just didn't get his head around on that.
No, he didn't. It was a throw out in the flat, so it's going to be 4th and 5. So a quick 3 and out, really, Coach V, for Tyler.
Good job of the Bronco defense minimizing this Tyler offense with the wind at their back. And back to punt, number 20 for the Apaches, Brian Ramirez out of Farron, Texas.
Number 11 is back for NMMI,
That's
and
Porter.
let's see. Oh, that's going to go out of bounds.
Let's see where he brings him
Way
back
up
to.
the line. Yeah, that's not a good kick. Wind at his back, he'll be okay, but it's to the 35-yard line.
Right at it.
And with the wind at his back, he was probably open for something more down around the 15 or the 20.
Sure would like to see that side judge there run in with his hand up and ask the opinion of the white hat back there to see when that thing crossed the white line. He was way back there, maybe 20 yards.
Yeah,
past.
he was back down around the 15. So
But he thought he has a better view of it than I do.
yes,
so.
he does. His angle is better. 11:37 left. NMMI leads at 17-0. They'll get the ball back. Second possession here in the third quarter. They'll have one receiver to the left, 2 to the right.
New back in there. Looks like Kwabi Nazaya out of
Yeah.
Amsterdam. Out of Amsterdam.
Really?
Oh,
Amsterdam.
81. Never mind. It's 81. I thought it was 21. That's Isaiah Garcia out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Albuquerque's a bit away from Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difference, yeah.
Yes, sir.
But some people may know where Amsterdam is than they do Albuquerque.
Oh, probably not this weekend with the balloon fiesta going on.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's a cool thing. You ever been?
I have.
Yeah. Fun deal. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 for NMMI. And they'll have one receiver out wide to each side, everybody else up.
Tight
Going to
left
hand
here.
it off to Donahoe, and he's hit immediately. No gain on the play.
Good play there by the interior. Williams, the middle linebacker for the Apaches, doing a good job fielding right there.
Yeah, so far, what a defensive battle here in the third quarter, huh?
Yes, sir.
It feels like the intensity is just picked up a tick. Is that just me, or
Yes, it's
does that feel right?
it's that point of the game. It's a conference game. The Apaches undefeated in the conference.
Yeah, 2 and 0.
Broncos even at 1-1.
All right, snap back, throw out in the
route to
flat.
Porter.
Yeah, catch, made some people miss.
Let's go for it.
Gonna
He'll
be
be
a
a
little
little,
bit
yep.
short.
Yep, going to be 4th. Oh, yeah. I don't think you go for it here, do you? Out to the 43. That's a gain of 7.
I think you don't. I think you try to flip the field here, but obviously that's why you and I are up here in the booth, and those people down there are making the calls. It looks like the punter did not run out, so the Broncos are lined up to go for it here.
Yeah, a lot of times when I broadcast basketball, I'll say we have 600 referees in attendance tonight, 3 which are paid.
We got South lined up. Looks like we're in a power formation here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it.
South with keeping the ball.
Great
job. And he's through.
Got it. Wow. Gutsy play there as they get 8 on the quarterback keeper and they keep the ball. That could be,
South is down.
Yeah, South is not getting up.
Cramp, I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
cramping?
a cramp. Yeah, he's saying bend that leg back. Yeah, hopefully it's just a cramp. That's what it appears to be. But they'll tend to him for a moment, and with that, we will take a 30-second timeout and be back. Your score still 17-0, NMMI in the lead, 9:11 to go here in the third quarter of play. You're enjoying NJCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSBP TV and AM 680 KTBB Tyler, Longview, Texas. Back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. New quarterback from Lovington, New Mexico, Wyatt Gomez. He'll do the handoff duties to Donahoe, and he will take it into Tyler territory at the 49-yard line, and we'll give him 2 on that play. Down to 9:32 here. Starting to get kind of critical, don't you think, Coach V, that
yes,
though
sir.
Tyler doesn't allow any more points and gets on the board here.
You're exactly right there. You notice I saw big Carson Johnson, the defensive tackle for the Apaches, trying to strip Donahoe with that ball, and Donahoe said, no, sir.
I'm going to hang on to it. It's mine.
Not going to allow that to happen.
Okay, kind of hard to tell. They're bunched up, but it looks like one receiver out wide to each side.
Yes.
Donahoe, the lone back. Again, Gomez in quarterback, as South looks like he was cramping up. So they'll hand it off to Donahoe, and he'll push the pile. Kind of reminds me of rugby a little bit.
Once again, a great job by Donahoe there, making the first man miss to make that a positive play. And it's not a big gainer, but he avoided a tackle for a loss there.
Yeah, gets 2 on the play. See if South's coming back in or not.
He is. I see the number 8 trotting back in there.
Yep, there he comes. All right.
Quick comment on that fourth down play there. Great play design by the Broncos, bringing a runner and a wide out in motion to hold those linebackers and make them onto the motion to the left.
Yeah, big here, 3rd and 8 from the Tyler 49-yard line. South back in, throws, and
throws it behind
that's
him.
the win. But you see that?
Yes. That
Because they were throwing it right at us, and it basically curves. And what would have been in front of him ended up being behind him. It goes incomplete.
That ball was intended for Trayvon Butler, wide receiver out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and that ball just blew it behind him. Luckily, it didn't blow that ball backwards into a lateral.
No, right,
but
very
it was
good
a
point.
forward pass.
And the other side of that, it would have been a first down. Plenty of room over here on this near side.
And
the New Zealander will come in, left-footed kicker. Punt it away. Return man number 33 for Tyler. Low snap. Boy, that
was
one.
Close.
Yeah, almost gets blocked. And that one almost, I guess that's his style, but it's weird because he's left-footed and it goes to his right off his foot.
Really a good job on punting that ball into the wind. Good job there.
Yeah, where are they gonna spot him? About the 20 set? Nope, further down than that.
Closer
That's
to
not
25?
the down marker, though. Let's see. Can't tell where it went out of bounds. We'll give you that in just a moment.
Was that the 30 maybe? Right.
It's going to be further back than that, I think.
No, you're
yeah,
exactly
they
right.
reset. About the 20 maybe?
18?
Well, let me see. 40, 30. Yeah, about the 23.
23
We'll go with the 23-yard line. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
I always tell people my stats are officially unofficial.
Swing pass out
that
here.
Means they're whatever.
And it's going to be a tackle for a loss. Number 27 for the Broncos, Shamar Berryhill, having a day. Already with the interception and now a tackle for the loss. Outside linebacker out of Peoria, Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that's a loss of about 6 on the play. It's going to be back to the 17-yard line.
Dwayne, on one of Burgess's last runs, I saw him come up gimpy, and I noticed he hasn't been back in the last 2 offensive series.
That's true, and they need him. Oh, did he catch that?
He did not.
Oh,
Johnson
he was looking for it over his left shoulder, and he spun and had his hands on it on the right side, but couldn't come up with it. That had been one unbelievable catch.
Now, that one might have been on Guerra there, not getting the ball on the right side there.
And again, did the wind do what we saw this pass here do?
Blew that.
Because, if he's looking for a back shoulder and then all of a sudden it's on the other side, I think the wind probably did that. Just a guess.
Once again, a third down here. What, 16 would you say?
Yeah, 16. Long way to go and pressure coming. He just got rid of it.
He gets rid of that there. Beza was in the area there. Number 18 in the area.
Barely in the area.
Barely in the area, but a good job by Guerra to get rid of
Oh, yeah, because that was close to being a safety.
You hear this comment all the time, punt and live another day. So
right.
That's exactly what Guerra did on that.
We know both teams have had the ball twice, and I don't believe one first down for NMMI, and that's it?
One for them, and maybe.
I don't think I'm not sure Tyler's had one. Let me see. Yeah, they've had one. That's right.
Let's see if Porter here gets an opportunity to make a return here. I'd like to see him out in the open field.
Yeah, he's got it set up at the 45.
Good high punt.
Punt is away. That's way over his head. Now he's hoping that goes into the end zone.
Tyler bounce, and luckily for the Broncos, that thing does make the end zone.
Did you know he just kicked that the length of the field?
He did.
He kicked it from like his own 5. Let me see. Well, he's 15 deep. Kicked it from the 1.
We got a flag.
Out of the end zone. Right at midfield.
We got a flag. Let's see if it's not on the Apaches here. Coach giving it, letting number 2 know that he's not happy with him getting possibly a penalty call here. Let's see if it's not unsportsmanlike against the Apaches here.
What a punt, though. Gosh.
It was. This flag could be crucial here. Instead of starting at the 20, starting at the 35. And it looks like they're marching the Apaches backwards there.
What'd they even call? I didn't see the call yet. Well, they're getting ready to give it to us.
The Whitehead has not signaled it.
He's right at midfield. So they'll start at the 35.
They called it on number 3, but it was number 2 that the penalty was called on.
9:38 left here in the third. 17-0 your lead for NMMI. They'll start this time at their own 35. The kick went all the way through the back of the end zone, would have been the 20. So a costly penalty for Tyler, but again, defensively, they have stopped NMMI. Here's a run to the near side, breaking a few tackles, gets it out to the 40. Good hard run there. And then that was 22.
Yeah, Antonio Muniz, 5'9", 190-pound running back out of Newport, Richie, Florida.
We haven't called his name, correct?
No, sir. I believe he went out. I see Donahoe back in.
Yep, you're right on that. 9:39 to go in the third. Again, so far all NMMI, but difference in the game for Tyler is the 4 turnovers. 3 interceptions and 1 fumble. Kind of has kept them from getting themselves back in the game. They'll bring a man in motion from the top, fake it to him, and nowhere to go this time. I think that's the, second loss on a run by the quarterback on the afternoon.
Yes, great play there by number 23, Jamil Davis.
They'll lose 4 on that one. Player slow getting up for Tyler. It'd be number 10.
Great play there by that interior tackle.
Davila Torres.
Is that the player down?
Yes, it is. So they're going to tend to him. So while they check him out, it may be a cramp. Hopefully that's what we have going here. We'll take a 30-second break. Again, we have 9:40 to go here in the third. It is NMMI 17. Tyler not on the board yet. Thanks for listening to NGCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on the campus of NMMI. It is on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB. Tyler Longview back in 30. Welcome back. While we were away, 3rd and 8 for NMMI. They'll throw a back shoulder down to the Tyler 40, and flag flies. And it's going to be another 15-yarder.
That one on number 8, Quentin McDowell.
Now let me know, the rule at one time is if a defender didn't turn his shoulder, if you will, look for the ball, then that was pass interference.
Correct.
And then there was a time, if I'm not mistaken, that they quit calling that. But now they're calling it again? Is that right?
I don't believe that face guarding is what that used to be called.
Yeah, face guarding. That's right.
It may still be a penalty in NFHS high school, but at the college and the pro ranks, no. I believe on that one they just had number 8 with his hands.
It had to be hands, nothing to do with putting your hands up in a guy's face.
And you can't.
So you can legally do that.
You can't have your hands on him once the ball's in the air.
Wow. Okay. Oh, once. Okay. Good to know. All right, but it does go as pass interference, 1st and 10 for NMMI. They're exactly at midfield, goodness. And my goodness, no gain, and could have been a loss of 2.
Big hit by number 25 in the hole. That's that linebacker for the Apaches, Nazarius Adams.
Boy, what a stick.
He didn't wrap up, but he hit the Bronco running back about a yard in the backfield, and the Bronco running back did a great job of getting back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if that was Donahoe or not.
It wasn't. It was 22, right? 22. Yeah.
22, Muniz out of Newport Richie.
Yeah, he went over to the coach and said, don't run that play anymore.
Got trips here to the left.
Yep, 2nd and 10 for NMMI. A lot of activity. Got to get a player off. They'll get him off just in time. That was the pros. They'd have snapped it and nailed him. But they get the player off just in time, and nowhere to go for South yet again. And he'll lose yardage back to the 48, so loss of 2 on the play. And the last 2 runs by South have gone south, if you will.
Tackle for a loss there. I'm assuming at the halftime adjustment.
Actually, this time they went north because they're headed south.
Halftime adjustment for the Apaches was, hey, we're going to go ahead and shadow. We're going to make sure that we stop the quarterback run here.
Got another flag back here.
This flag came
way
from
back.
Deep.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating a sideline unsportsmanlike here. Lots of chirping by the coaching staff from the number 1.
That's the safety.
They called it on a player.
Yeah, and that was nowhere near any of the action. That had to be verbal.
Tyson Wilson.
Don't you think?
Yes, he's expressing his opinion to the officiating crew, and they did not agree with that opinion.
No, and they win. And what really hurt there, Coach V, is they had a 3rd and long for NMMI at about midfield. Now NMMI will move down to the 37-yard line and have a new set of downs.
Correct. That's the Broncos' second first down via penalty this drive.
On this drive, that's right.
Pump fake from South, and he's wide open. He's wide open. Does Porter hold on? He's out of bounds.
Oh, wow. Almost would have had a 1st and goal, but it goes an incomplete.
Porter cramping as well. He's signaling.
Yep, he's having a hard time. He's already off the field, but he's not able to walk back. He's going to have a seat.
Another set of penalties. Looks like they're marching off there. I did not see. It
2 flags. Late hit, maybe?
Late hit on the quarterback.
I bet it's a late hit.
And that'll be the 3rd penalty.
Yeah, he cramped up over there.
3rd first down via penalty for the Broncos here.
Let's see what they call. I bet it's a late hit.
He had already signaled it while we were watching for them attending to Porter. Did not see the signal from the white hat, but it was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, 15-yarder again. That's the 3rd 15-yarder here on this drive. And taking up a lot of clock, too. I think the clock stopped again.
They are. They're tending over to Porter on the sideline, and they either want him further off the sideline, they're marching him back.
Yeah, they're all the way down to about the 23. That's where they're at now. And timeout taken. Yep.
There's the whistle bringing the players right back. There it is.
Yeah, the clock is not working again.
Now in high school, they don't allow teams to go to the coaches on during timeouts.
Yeah, they have to stay on the field, right?
There is no coach. Well, they got to stay inside the numbers on their field. If there's no numbers, then they got to stay inside the hashes in high school football.
I didn't know that. Man, I'm going to really know what to talk about next game I do.
And he's wide open.
Oh, no, and there was nobody. They got way behind the defense. Is that Donahoe?
I think that's number 2.
That's a different number, yeah.
That's Jordan Grant, defensive back out of San Antonio, Texas. That was Donahoe.
That was Donahoe, yeah.
Donahoe. The ball was just slightly behind him.
I still think the wind's moving the ball. I think the coaches or the quarterbacks are throwing it where they think they want it, and the ball's moving.
That's one of
those. Because that was another one that he thought was going to be out in front of him, and it ended up hitting him basically in the side.
I'm sure that's a play where Donahoe says, I should have had it, and Sal says, I should have put it on you.
Right. But the wind is a factor.
Oh, Donahoe runs over a linebacker and right in the hole.
I'm going to give him about, 4 on the play.
That's number 17, Jackson Stiles out of Athens, Texas. Meet Mr. Donahoe
from Florida. Yeah. Okay, 3rd down again. Probably 4-down territory here, though.
Correct. I don't know what Skoge's range is right here into the wind. He's the long kicker.
Right.
For the Broncos.
3rd and 7, though. And this drive has taken up a lot of time.
Pre-snap penalty. Yeah. That's going to be procedure on the Broncos.
Uh-oh. A lot of continuation chirping. Is that a penalty?
Lots of extracurricular on each play, so I'm sure these officials are going to want to tighten down on it. Let's see if the Broncos go back to that trip set out there with Donahoe in the slot and overload that one side and maybe try to catch another seam route.
Again, throwing into the wind, though. And I've got to guess we're down to, 4 or 5 minutes here in the 3rd? Something like that. Clock has quit working again. 3rd and 12. Twins right, 1 receiver left. He'll come to the top. Everybody out the other way. Quarterback, that was almost a backwards pass.
He hit the outlet guy, 28.
He's going to get a little bit of yardage. It looks like he'll get, about 6? Maybe, something like that.
Yeah, that's to Trayvon Butler. Wide receiver.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down. Another player cramping up for NMMI. 10. Okay, he didn't get what I thought on that other play. He only got 2.
It is a warm day here.
Yep.
In southeastern
Thank goodness
Mexico
for tents, though. How about?
Thank you.
We love tents. All right. Let's see. That's quarterback again, South.
South cramping up again.
Yep, cramping up again. So we'll keep it right here, though. 4th and 10. So if they were to try a field goal from here, let me see. Where's the ball at? On the 20, let's see, 30, 25-yard line?
Yes.
32, be a 42-yarder into the wind.
I do not see Skog out there unless he's lined up in his tight end position. You know what? I do see him.
Yep, 42-yarder into the wind. You know, he's got enough leg, though.
He does. Young man.
The problem is he has to kick it really flat, though. It's an opportunity for a block. So 42-yarder on the way here.
It's away.
And it's going to be left. He pulled it.
Pulled it.
No good.
Did exactly what you said, though. He kept it low. Just hooked it a little bit.
42-yarder. Tough play. All right, field goal no good, so Tyler dodges the bullet. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with NMMI still leading by a score 17-0. We're assuming we're about the 3-minute mark in the third. Thanks for listening to NJCAA football from Roswell on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB, Tyler, Longview, Texas. Roswell, New Mexico, NMMI football field, stadium, whatever you want to call it. For Tyler, quarterback scramble. He'll get about 3 on the play. Throws to the big tight end, and he will bring it all the way almost to midfield. Nice catch and run for Tyler on that one, Coach V.
Lonnie Johnson on just a flat route out here. He's a load. That yak yardage for Johnson is really starting to mount up.
19 yards on that one. First down for Tyler. They're kind of in a little bit of a hurry up. Another quick hit out here. Great tackle.
Great tackle on Beza. Great tackle by number 15. That's Ricky Harding.
Get on the ball!
Snap is back. Throw to the flat again. Nice soft hands by the big tight end.
That is a good description of it. Nice soft hands there. And not to say the Apaches are a little bit of a hurry up, but it's getting to that point.
It's a hurry up, I do believe. Yeah, they're not huddling and they are getting back to the line. And it reminds me of that last possession they had before the half. And they're almost to the same spot on the field. Going home run ball here, and that's going to be, thought he caught that.
Out to Beza, and he drops it. It's a drop.
Yeah, he's wanting a flag and not going to get one.
Good coverage there by number 41 for the Broncos, Eduardo Carrillo. Cornerback out of Canutillo, Texas.
Oh, I saw this one. 18 said something to the ref. The coach went and got him and said, get off the field. He said something, and the ref looked at him, and up went the flag. That's one thing you don't get when you broadcast away off in a booth. We're kind of down just a little bit above field level, and that one, another costly penalty, unsportsmanlike. And the other part, they're verbal. They're not even like, a athletic, if you will.
The things that
not sportsmanlike. It's all chirping.
The thing that makes that even more costly, Dwayne, is it's post whistle, so the down counts. It's second down.
Wow.
That makes it second down and 25.
Yep, second and 25. They move all the way back to their own 38-yard line. And they had worked their way into NMMI territory.
There's a blitz.
Here comes a blitz. Yep. Oh, and they pick it up.
This
should be. Yep, that's 6.
A missed tackle in the middle of the field.
Wow. 62-yard TD.
That's against Hilburn. Wide out for the Apaches. out of Cheney, Washington. And in one play, the Apaches erased that big second down behind the sticks.
You got to credit the quarterback on that one because he threw behind the blitz.
It was,
he saw it coming, and the problem with the blitz, if you don't get there, is what we just saw.
well, you can't have your safety miss a tackle out in the middle of the field.
And that. Fans kind of wound up a little bit.
They are. Timeout for the Broncos here. Looks like the Apaches are lined up for 2 here. And Broncos want to get timeout.
Let me see. That was to Hilburn, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wow. 62-yard play.
And once the tackle was missed.
So what was that? About a 15-yard pass with
Yes.
50 yards of yak?
Yes.
Something like that?
Right in the middle of the field. Just little slant pattern there. Not really a slant, more of a post route there by Hilburn. And once the tackle was broken, Hilburn took it to the house.
We assume there's about 2 minutes maybe left in the third. Now they're going to change it up and go back to the PAT, yeah.
Good job by the Apaches there, forcing the Broncos to use a timeout. Here in the second half, those things are valuable.
Wind at their back, 62-yard pass play. Very nice.
39 lined up for this kick. Daniel Mathis out of Dallas, Texas. It's a botched snap.
Yep, that didn't go well. PAT no good.
The punter could not handle the snap.
Yeah, it was low. He tried to scoop it off, but with that, it is Tyler on the board. 17-6 is your score. We assume 2-minute mark, somewhere like that in the third. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the Apaches getting on the board. Nice 62-yard touchdown play. Thanks for listening to NJCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSBP TV and AM 600 KTBB, Tyler, Longview, Texas. Back in 30 seconds. That kickoff is away, and that one is in the cheap seats. That one's headed to my pickup truck. Kid's got a big foot. I mean, he's wind aided, but still, it's a long way to kick a football. So for NMMI, they'll start at their own 25-yard line. And we again apologize, no working clock here. We're going to assume, I'm going to say 2 minutes left in the third.
That's Seth Baggett, the place kicker for the Apaches out of Lindale, Texas. Strong leg there, but he was not the young man out there to kick the extra points. So both these teams using
short and long
kickers.
All right, NMMI will have South come back out. He got a little time to fix the cramps. Had to go out twice in this game. With that, going to hand off to Donahoe, and they are ready for Donahoe. He'll lose 2 on the play.
That's big number 33 up there making that stop. Khalil Ewell, or Elwell maybe, but I'm saying it's Ewell. That's going to be the fourth quarter right there.
Okay, we were pretty close on our time. That will do it. That's the end of quarter number 3. So we'll have 15 minutes of football left, and this one gotten a little more interesting.
Yes, sir.
17-6 is your score. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back. You're listening to NJCAA. I'm struggling with that all day long. football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB. Tyler, Longview, Texas. Back in 1 minute.
You're good.
Welcome back. While we're away, a 4-yard scrum run, I'm going to call those, by Donahoe. He'll go out to the 27-yard line, I believe.
Exactly.
And another big third down here for the Apaches, Coach V.
Broncos now with the wind at their back, though. Now maybe South will. One thing that's concerning is I haven't seen Porter get back in the game. I know he's more their deep threat on the outside.
Yeah, he has not been back out there. You're right. They're going to
There's a
throw
flat route.
catch.
This is
Yep,
gonna be a
that's
good
going to
one.
be a nice first down and keep possession with Nimmy. Somebody missed an assignment, you think, on that one?
Yeah, Backer just didn't get out on that guy coming out of the slot there. He was kind of lined up as a flanker there and just did a simple little flat route.
Yeah, good for 13 yards and a first down. Maybe the clock's working again. I don't know. 10:02. See if it moves here in a minute. All right, 1st and 10. This time they have switched in, so Nimmy with the wind at their back headed towards the north end zone. We're over on the east side. Going to hand it off. Nowhere to go. Starting to kind of look like a little dirt pile out there in the middle, isn't it?
Right. Well, you figure. Well, I know they don't practice on this field, but enough games when the ball's played in the middle.
They're going to lose about 2 on that play.
That was number 22 on the carry, I believe.
Back to the 38-yard line. So 2nd and 12. Yep, I guess the clock's going the wrong way again. We have more time than we did a minute ago. Twins to the right, Twins left. South's going to throw
Great
lob
ball.
pass
Oh,
and
it's behind.
again behind. I'm going to stick to what I said. I think the wind is affecting that ball. Uh-oh. I just saw a flag all the way across the way. Almost so far away you couldn't even see it. He threw it up and the wind got it. And
Let's see what the white hat's going to signal.
yeah. Unsportsmanlike?
Unsportsmanlike against the.
They call it on the
Broncos.
bench?
Looks like it's a sideline infraction.
I thought so, yeah, because he was 15 yards from any player. So that's one the sidelines are going to cost Nimmy. 15 yards. And this is 3rd and 30 maybe? Is that close?
Yes, if not 40.
3rd and a lot. So trips to the right for Nimmy. One receiver out to the left.
One back in Muniz.
Snap. Looking at
Quarterback
that
draw.
quarterback draw. Yep, he'll get a little bit, but not much. He'll have to hit the deck. He'll get about 5 on the play.
Going to be a punt. I'm going to use my coaching expertise here and say that on 4th and about 25, we're going to punt that.
Yeah, we're not going to go for this one. So they'll kick it away, and we're guessing 9 minutes maybe, something like that.
I'm leaving that clock guessing up to you.
You're going to let me be the clock guesser?
You got a pretty good handle of it.
Yeah, I hadn't been off too much.
Good punt, good and high.
Yeah, looks like it's headed, though, to the bleachers, yeah. Had good distance, but bad direction.
Yes. I just saw it when
it's kind of like some of my golf shots. I hit them a long way, but they're not necessarily in a good spot.
That ball went out right at midfield, so it's going to be Apache ball right at midfield.
Yeah, that's where they're going to spot it, isn't it?
Yeah,
so great field position. I think, Coach V, that this is the best field position. Let me look. It is by a lot, because field position-wise, the Apaches have pretty much started around their 25 or 30. And this time they'll start at their 50 or the 50, but they're going straight into the wind here the rest of the way out. We anticipate about 8 minutes to go before the game will be over. 4-step drop, long throw. He's got a man down there too, and it's caught, and he is in, I believe. He is. Wow. That is a 50-yard bomb on one play to number 11, and all of a sudden the Apaches are all over back in this thing.
Another flag. That was Amari Henry on the reception there. Just got a step on the wideout on number 1, Anthony Audette. Beat Audette.
And that was Henry on the catch, correct?
Yes, sir.
Number 11.
Amari Henry out of Keller, Texas.
So if you look at this 17 to 12, you might as well no, if you go for 2, you can tie it with a field goal. And if you don't get it, you've got to score a touchdown anyway.
I see the extra.
So no reason. Why would you kick it, though? Because if you go for 2, it's a 3-point game.
Maybe they're starting to anticipate that the Bronco defense is
tiring,
unable to stop the offense.
Boy, what a pass into the wind, though.
It was a great ball by Guerra. Laid it right in the breadbasket of Amari Henry, and Henry did the rest.
About a 10-yard run after the catch, but what a throw. Came from about the 45-yard line.
And with that acceptance of that penalty, it looks like the Apaches are going to go ahead and go for 2.
Yeah, I would. If you get it, it's a 3-point game. If you don't, it's 5, and you got to score a touchdown anyway. If you kick the extra point, it's still a game where you got to get a touchdown.
Correct.
So why not go for 2?
I see Burgess back in the ball game here. He was in on that touchdown catch to Henry.
Something going on here. They call timeout? I don't know what's going on. Is it a TV timeout?
They're just as
with no TV?
We don't on those commercial timeouts. Let's see. Looks like they're trying to sort. The officials are trying to sort out where the ball should be placed.
Well, it's half the distance, right?
It would be if it's against the Broncos, which I thought I saw them signal.
Yeah, I thought the same, because they brought the kick team off and put the offense back out there. Yeah, they're still sorting it out. We apologize. And they are not right here where we can see everything. Oh, you know what? They called that against Tyler.
They called that against Tyler.
That wasn't another unsportsman, was it?
Taunting in the end zone or something? Maybe an unsportsmanlike act?
I think it's something that happened while they were setting up. So that, yeah, you still might as well go for 2. Nope, they're going to try and kick it.
They got their kicker.
That's a long extra point.
It is not their long kicker.
It's a 30, let me see, 37-yard extra point. They're going to fake it. Oh, what a play. And what a tackle to stop them. Boy, they do not get it.
That was Carrillo making a shoestring tackle on number 3 for the Apaches. I want to say that was David Lange. And a shoestring tackle, or he was going to walk in for that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that's a heck of a tackle. But it is 17-12 now, and we're estimating 6 minutes to go in the game. Let's keep it here, Coach. All of a sudden, a 62-yard touchdown play, followed by a 50-yard touchdown play. Both of them passes with Yak, and all of a sudden we have a 5-point contest.
Yes, that's 12 points in 2 plays. The last 2 plays for the Apaches.
Yeah, and they ran the first series, or possession, I should say, they scored on was a 5-play drive. Started at their own 23. The last one they started with the best field position of the day at the 50, and they struck on 1 play.
So that 15-yard penalty on the kickoff was costly for the Broncos. And there's Porter now. He breaks a tackle.
Oh, he's one of those guys you just kind of do a gulp. That's going to be.
It's going to be a block in the back on the Broncos. I believe.
It's got to be. Guy down on the ground. He landed on top of him and knocked his helmet off. And
he landed on top of him after he blocked him in the back.
Right. Yeah. Here, I'm going to clip you and then I'm going to pancake you.
Kudos there to the Apaches, number 1.
If this was WWF, they'd have been proud.
Right. Kudos to number 1 there for the Apaches on keeping his cool after that block.
Yeah, because they've gotten pretty amped up. And he just picked up his helmet and came off the field. But that's going to hurt NMMI because they brought the ball out on a nice return to the 41-yard line.
Yep.
And now they're going to go back 15 yards.
Porter did a great job of setting up some blocks there, made a couple of men miss. And we just had an undisciplined play by one of the Broncos special team players. And it's going to cost him 15 yards again. So the last 2 the last kick team had a special 15-yard penalty, and now the return team a 15-yard penalty. That's not the recipe for closing out and winning a ball game.
No, it is not. And they're going to start at where, the 20?
Yes, sir.
Is that where they're at?
I would call it the 20-yard line.
Yeah, pretty close to the 20. We'll just say it's the 20. I'm assuming we're at the 6-minute mark, somewhere right along that line. So big defensive stand here coming up, and it's going to start off with a drop ball. That would have been a first down, so it'll be incomplete. And Coach V, that was right in front of the NMMI bench.
It was, and that I would just call that a drop, Dwayne. And the Apache bench has come to life now.
And the Apache fan base.
Yes.
Probably good that we're not where people can hear us, hear them. Not all of them.
Right.
This is normal.
Good.
We have to be careful where we set up the broadcast at any sporting event we go to.
Good-spirited fans.
Yep, having fun.
Trips
All right,
there.
2nd and 10 here. Trips right for NMMI. South again in at quarterback. They're showing
That's gonna
blitz.
be a pre-snap foul.
Somebody jumped.
Number 6 for the Broncos. Pre-snap foul there. Isaiah Beta,
And where's he from?
wide receiver out of Las Cruces, New
Okay,
Mexico.
that's what I thought. I remember the name from high school. Las Cruces, by the way, destroyed Clovis last night.
Which school?
50s. High. They're ranked number 1 in the state right now. They defeated number 2 Cleveland 2 weeks ago, 38-34. Beat Clovis last night 56-6. And they're a district opponent.
Wow.
But that young man, I remember him from Las Cruces. Kind of fun to see these kids playing at the next level that you watch in high school.
We got single coverage out here on Porter. Let's see
They
if
do, yeah.
South takes a shot at him.
Looking
No,
this
it's a
way,
screen.
a little screen underneath, but that's well defended and no gain on the play. None.
Well defended there by number 6 for the Apaches, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson getting it done. 3rd down now, big chance here for Tyler to get the ball back again. And Coach V, they have scored on their last 2 possessions.
That's good. Last 2 plays.
Last 2 plays, that's true.
Yeah, crucial play. here
That
for the
last
Broncos.
possession was a 1-play drive. So The Apache chant reminds me of the Atlanta Braves. I used to love that. Trying to get the hard count, get somebody to jump. Nobody did. Whoop, too much time.
Delay a game.
Yep. Now you're going to have 3rd and 19.
19. Is there such thing as a short 20?
I call it 19.5. That comes from my architectural days. But there's no such thing.
Right.
Even if a yard is basically 3 footballs, it's a yard.
That's right.
No matter what. So we're going to call it really 3rd and 20. I think it's probably more accurate. For NMMI, they'll have trips to the left, and quarterback keeper, they're just going to try and get a few yards. And they'll get about 4 on the play out to the 15.
There's going to be a penalty.
They jumping for joy or frustration?
We're about to find out really quick here.
Another flag all the way across the field. You know what? I think the coaches for NMMI are oh, wow. Automatic first down.
Boy.
Oh, that's a killer. Because they would have had to punt. Now they're going to bring the ball out to, where are they at, the 28?
I'm assuming that penalty's on Willie. Willie Nelson came running out.
Is he the one that was hopping?
Yes, he was jumping over there knowing he'd made a mistake there and going to allow the Broncos
Yeah, because the
run a little
South
more
was already down. No reason to hit him. Boy, that hurt. 1st and 10 now for NMMI. We're thinking we're at the 5-minute mark. 17-12 is your score. Here's a scrum run.
Is that Donahue back in the game?
That was Donahue. Yep, he'll get 2 on the play. Maybe 3. We'll give him 3.
Yeah, that is 3. Did we start going 3 yards in a cloud of dust with Donahue?
Well, you know, now, though, because if you run out enough clock, I mean, you're basically trying to play keep away right now. You know? I mean, I would think, right?
Yeah, the Apaches will need a
I mean, you either need a quick score or play keep away. We're guessing about 4 minutes. Snap is back. Donahue has it. He'll be hit. Get about maybe 1 on the play.
Little counter there. They pulled that backside tackle. Good job by the backside defensive tackle to slide down and tackle Donahue right in the hole there.
So another big play here at 3rd and 7. NMMI on anything with any distance would not go for it. But, boy, the discipline that we've seen out of Tyler has got to be a little disappointing by their coaching staff.
Correct. Well, the coaching staff is probably disappointed in the players' discipline.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's kind of how I meant to say that. But big 3rd and 7 here. Man in motion, and it's going to be quarterback keeper again.
Oh, he broke a tackle.
I think he got the first down. Wow.
Great job by Sal.
Out to the 40, 8-yard run and a first down.
Broke a tackle right in the...
But you know what makes you look back, though, at that last play where he was already down and the late hit that kept this possession alive for NMMI.
Those penalties have been costly. Both teams are starting to experience a little bit of that.
Apologize, we don't know the time. The only way we'll really know is when we get the 2-minute warning. And hopefully, you know, that's probably coming up pretty quick, I would have to think. Trips right. Donahue will get it. He is hit immediately and maybe loses 2 on the play.
The Apaches loaded up the box there. They're in stop-the-run mode.
Yeah, because if my stats are right, again, I tell you they're officially unofficial. We're on the 11th play of this drive that started at the 20, and they have not thrown the ball. All pedestrian.
Let's see if the Apaches go ahead and crowd that box again.
Yep, not one pass, and the 11th play coming up of this drive. They're going to give it to Donahoe again, and he will go into the linebacking core and go down to the 43-yard line, gain of 5.
Good run there.
Boy, he is a junior college version of, what's his name, Tagaboo?
Scattaboo.
Scattaboo. Well, he's from Arizona, wasn't he?
Yes, sir. Arizona State. Out of
Yeah.
Arizona State. Now with the Giants. Has Jackson Styles on the tackle for the Apaches there. Good tackle.
Another big third down again. This is the third down opportunity Tyler's had on this last, actually, 3 series. They're going to throw this time. Pass caught and hit immediately.
Great tackle.
Everybody get up and get away. Don't say anything. Tackle's over. Gain of 2.
T.J. Williams with a great tackle out there in the open field.
There's the 2-minute warning we just talked about, so I was pretty close. I may have to request a pay raise. I'm not sure. So with that said, good game here, 17-12. Your score, NMMI in the lead. We've got the 2-minute warning here in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back. You're listening to NJCAA football from Roswell, New Mexico on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB, Tyler, Longview. Back in 1 minute. Looks like NMMI is at least showing they're going to go.
They might have
And
gotten
they got him to jump.
And the whole
Free play, and it's too far, but unbelievable. It's not going to be a first down, but it's going to make it much more manageable at 4th and 6 to
Maybe
be
4th
and 1. Yeah.
Extremely lucky that the Apaches were not called for holding on that.
On the receiver?
On the receiver
Yeah.
there. Number 4 there clearly had a hold of his belt.
Wow. Timeout called. We're going to keep it right here. We're under 2 minutes to go. Again, the clock, for the most part, has not worked this afternoon. We apologize for that. But not a whole lot we can do about it, right, Coach V?
No, sir. That's one of those things we can't handle.
Cannot control that.
No, sir.
All right, 4th and a yard now for NMMI. And, you know, if they get this, they can almost run the clock out. I think they have to get 1 first down, correct? And this is the tush push.
Uh-oh.
And it is
We got
successful.
a flag.
Yep.
Somebody move here.
Let's see. He moved. He may be right.
False start on the
He
Broncos.
did move. Wow. Wow.
They were trying their version of the
Tush push. Yep. And it worked. Other than
It would have worked.
somebody jumped. But have you watched any of the NFL stuff? How often they jump?
They do.
And they don't call it. And I like the tush push.
I am not a fan, but I would tell people if you don't like
You
it,
think
why
they ought to
can't
do
your
it? You
team
think
run
they ought
it?
to do away with it?
No, I think more teams ought to learn how to do it better.
Right, just be good at it.
Well,
All right, that's a huge play there. It's going to make NMMI punt it away, and almost a block. Kick is away.
Willie
Fair
Nelson
catch
fell
by
top.
Willie Nelson is made, and he is where is he at? About the 11?
Good punt.
Yeah, great punt. And Coach, 15 plays. and a punt. And they never got – they got to the 45 once on that and ran off, I'm assuming, about 4.5 minutes of time. I'm not sure. 142.
Well, we'll see if that strategy holds up. Did they run off enough time? Can this Bronco defense slow down the explosiveness that the Apaches have started to show here late in the fourth quarter?
And you know, they have not gotten to touch the ball since the pretty much 8-minute mark. This is their only possession since the last touchdown. So here we go, minute 32 to go. They're going to throw, and they go across the middle, and oh my goodness.
Almost a pick by number 45 there.
That should have been a pick. I'm not sure what the QB, Guerrero, was looking at.
Timo Hainwald out of Germany had an opportunity here to maybe put this game on ice. Ball went right through his hands. Guerrero with a dangerous crossing pass.
That was 2nd and 10 now for Tyler. He's rolling, looking this way. He was going to unload, and he lost the ball. And I think NMMI got it, and they did. Wow.
Guerrero just hit that ball on his own leg, and it came out.
5th turnover of the day is going to be the undoing of the Tyler Junior College Apaches.
We got a Tyler interior lineman down on the ground there. The number 54, it looks like, or 64.
Yeah, he's the young man that dove for the ball trying to get the recovery.
Yeah, Jamin Lee, and he's slowly getting to his feet right now.
Yeah, we're glad to see that. Coming off the field. Boy, what an effort to try and basically save a chance at a win, but he was unable to get it, and NMMI has recovered, and they can run the clock out now.
Yeah, Jamin stuck that right arm out, and 2 Broncos pounced on that ball, and his arm in the process.
Part of it, Guerrero was trying to cock and load, if you will, and just lost the handle.
Yeah, it appeared like he hit the ball with his own thigh.
I think so. So do you run a play here or just down it?
I think you got to at this point. Tyler's still got 2 or 3 timeouts left.
So NMMI's going to hand it off, and tackled instantly
in the backfield
is Donahoe.
Number 22 for the Apaches, Ben Roberts, sophomore linebacker out of Kauai, Hawaii. There's the Apaches timeout right there.
30 seconds left.
We estimate 30 seconds.
Kayla, girlfriend of Mr. Donahoe, is keeping us informed on the clock. Is that what it is? Oh, okay. Thank you.
They just announced over the PA, yeah.
She's nice.
Now, the field announcer announced 30 seconds left in this ball game.
Okay.
So I would anticipate that.
What do you do? Run? You don't even need to run a play, right?
No, Apaches will need to be able to stop the clock one more time.
Oh, that's right, because of the timeouts.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, we're just going to keep it right here.
Second
Twins
down.
Right, 1 receiver left.
South is going to scramble that inside handoff there.
They're not going to do anything too much. Loss of 2 on the play.
Timeout and 30-second timeout, so we'll go ahead and stay there.
We're not going anywhere.
Or stay here, I should say.
Stay here. Well, we can go there or stay here. Whatever.
Long 3rd down. I'll be ready to head home and watch my Detroit Tigers play tonight. Hopefully they can.
Yeah, we haven't talked baseball yet. So the Tigers are your guys, huh?
The Tigers are my team.
Okay. And their first game of 5?
Yes, it's a 5-game series with the Seattle Mariners.
And Seattle was a division winner.
They won the West Division.
Okay.
The Yankees will be traveling to Toronto to take on.
And that's tonight too, right?
Yes, sir.
Now that's the only ones. Everybody else is tomorrow, or are there more?
I believe the Dodgers and the Braves, the Dodgers and the Phillies start tonight.
Okay.
As well as the Brewers.
So all 4 are playing.
Yes.
All right. Surely they're not going to throw the ball as they snap it. The flags fly. I don't know.
False start on
False
the
start by
Broncos.
Nimmy.
We don't really want to get this Tyler offense any closer to their end zone, and we're going in the wrong direction here.
Yeah, they've had a 1 yard loss, 2 yard loss, and now a 5 yard penalty.
I'm assuming Tyler going into this possession by the Broncos must have had all 3 timeouts left if the Broncos are considering passing this ball.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the only reason you would even consider that.
Let me see if I can find out if there's a timeout remaining.
Yeah, we can't. The scoreboard's not keeping that. But they are in a pass formation.
Yep,
Trips right, one receiver to the left. Shotgun.
Gun.
He is going to throw it and overthrows his man. Yep, incomplete. Now, see, that stops the clock. Why would you want to run an offensive play and stop the clock? What am I missing?
I would have liked to see, Tyler did have a timeout left. Would have liked to see the Broncos maybe run the ball there and force Tyler to use their last timeout.
Right. Yeah, you throw it incomplete and you just give the ball away.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to bring out Skog.
Oh, wow.
And attempt to.
Yeah, what is this? 40-yarder.
A 40-yarder with the wind at his back. Good hold.
It's on
Is
the
the kick
way.
gonna get there?
No,
And it's short.
just short.
It's
wow,
short.
40-yarder. So, a prayer of a chance, if you will. Now, also when they miss it from the 30, that's where Tyler gets the ball, right?
No, they get it from in college. It's from the snap. At the pros, that's from the hold.
Okay, but they still get it from the snap.
Yes, sir.
Which is what, the 25?
Yes, sir. I used to like it when college, if that ball made the end zone, they would call it a touchback. But
and is that kickoff thing in the NFL the stupidest thing ever?
well, we have the Apaches have a timeout here.
Yeah, and the ball with probably 20 seconds maybe. So they're going to get another
rolls
chance.
Out to his right.
Yeah, trying to buy time. Throws deep. Oh, he
caught it.
He went up and caught it.
That's a catch by Beza.
Now does the clock stop in college to move the chains?
To move the sticks. Let's see if I assume that the Apaches will spike this ball.
Yeah, he caught it down at the 37-yard line.
Misplay. No, they don't spike it. It's going to be all kinds of time, and it's going to be dumped off to Burgess. It's incomplete.
Ooh.
Lots of time ran off
the clock. Yeah, again, we don't know how much time is left. Play clock's not running. We might could tell if the play clock was running, but evidently that's not working either.
That'll bring up a second down there. Boy, the Bronco cornerback just timed his jump there.
That was a 38-yard pass play, by the way. How much did they say? Wow, this game's going to come right down to 1 or 2 plays.
Right here.
Second down and 10.
Whereas dropped straight
from
back.
the NMMI 38.
He's going to run.
Yep, going to take off. Got to be careful. I don't know how much time there is. Now they're going to have to use that timeout, right? No, he got a first down.
First down, so it's going to stop. We'll see if they spike it right here. Save their timeout.
He ran it, took off out of the pocket. They've already reset. He'll probably spike it here, I would guess. Snap back. Nope, he's going to run it.
He's going to
throw, and
this
one.
Yeah,
that's a good play.
Short of Burgess, he throws that.
Don't risk interception. 12-yard run. 12 seconds.
12 seconds. 12 seconds remain in the ball game.
Yeah, that's enough time. They're down to the 25 of NMMI, and the score 17-12. Yep. NMMI in the lead.
If they get this first down, that they can get up and spike it, they'll have a chance to take a shot in the end zone.
Now they have a timeout or no?
From what I understand, the Apaches still have 1 timeout remaining.
And we think they have 1. Snap is back. They're going to throw. Uh-oh, watch out. Yep, the receiver and the quarterback weren't on the same page.
It was intended out there for Amari Henry.
The only person that was locked in on that pass was the NMMI defender.
The cornerback there for the Broncos had a good chance. Ball went off his hands.
Fortunate. So what are we down to now, you think? 6, 7 seconds? One more play maybe?
Yes, got to commend that Apache's front line. The Broncos have had no pressure on
Yeah,
them.
no, they have not. 3rd and 10. We believe under 10 seconds to go. Snap is back. A lot of time. Going to throw end zone all alone and a catch. Was he out of the end zone?
Out of the end zone.
Oh, no.
Out of the back of the end zone.
That's what I was thinking. He was pretty deep.
Incomplete to the slot receiver.
Oh, he missed him.
Mr. Yes.
Out of the back. So maybe one more play.
Yes.
And it's 4th down.
That was Gintz Hilbert who caught the ball.
Boy,
but he was out of the
he
end
got
zone.
completely left alone.
Blown coverage there by the Broncos.
Wow.
Hilburn was lined up in the slot here.
There's that timeout. 4th and 10. Coach, we're going to keep it right here. Had to have been like 1 yard, maybe 2. Couldn't be much.
From our angle, it was hard to tell here, but the back judge definitely had an angle.
Oh, he was right there on it, yeah. So timeout, and this one is coming down to one play, 17-12. NMMI in the lead. We believe 6 seconds left on the clock. And for Tyler, they have the ball on the 25-yard line. But 4th and 10, of course, that's irrelevant at this point, Coach.
4th and 10 and down to 5.
Yeah, you got to go to the end zone. And see, here's the deal: if they could have gotten that 2-point conversion earlier, they could try a field goal here
Now, Dwayne,
and tie it, but that didn't work out.
I am not sure, but if there is a review process here, I see 2 officials, the white hat head to the back, a table at the back, and looking at a monitor.
Oh yeah, I wonder.
I am not a.
He's not down there
sure.
buying a slushie, is he?
No, if there is a replay system here at
I did not know that.
this field.
Yeah, they're down looking.
This could be a huge call if they rule
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what's going on.
Hilburn was able to get a foot down in bounds.
You just got to get one in college, right? And
sir.
possession.
Possession, control the ball, 1 foot in bounds. And unlike announcers at the top levels, we have no access to a monitor or anything. So
Nope, we do not.
we will get the call when you do. This game could go from a
Boy,
five-point Bronco lead to a 1-point Apache lead here at any second. 2 officials
The
down there
thing is,
taking a
too, the
long look.
receiver broke open. If he could have gotten it out just a little quicker, there was nobody between the end zone and the receiver.
Correct.
He was that far behind the defense. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
They had the outside receiver on that
Thank
set.
you. Appreciate that.
Oh, boy. Run a flag pattern or not a flag, just a fade. Then the slot receiver just ran straight up the seam.
Regardless of
nobody
the
got
replay, they still have one more chance.
Yes, sir.
One more play. It must be. It must be close because they're still looking at
Is
it.
that one play going to be for the Apaches, or is that one play going to be for the Broncos?
In my opinion, it's tougher to be on defense than it is offense because the receivers know where they're going, and the quarterback, for the most part, knows where they're going. And anyway,
Dwayne, based on this guy's call, the Apaches are going to get one more offensive play, or the Broncos could get one.
oh, that's true. That's true. But wouldn't you, if you're going to kick off, if the Apaches do get it, then wouldn't you just squib it? And
I'm sure they would, and I don't know how much time is remaining.
yeah, I think there's like 6 seconds.
And
It's not much.
I am almost positive that if this call goes in favor of the Apaches, they'll be going for 2 to try to make this a 3-point lead.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
in case
because
the Broncos
kind of
can-
like before, there's no point.
Correct. But you are right. This is taking a long time.
Yeah, it must be close because they are really looking at it.
As the Does the length favor the offense or does the length favor the defense?
You mean this amount of time?
Yes.
Oh boy, good
On
question.
this review process.
I think it favors the offense. Receivers get a chance to catch their breath. Yeah, it's tough. It's the only downside to replay. Now, while we're talking replay, pitching in baseball, they're going to put that little box thing up there.
Correct.
To me, they need to give the umpire a headpiece or something that signals him if it's a strike, so that maybe you and I don't see it or don't hear it, but it's unfair to those guys to have 20 cameras, that are high-speed cameras picking up a 100-mile-an-hour pitch and going, oh, he missed that one. It nicked the outside corner by a quarter inch.
Right.
If they're going to have that technology, they need to help. Here they come.
They're trotting back
White hat's
on.
coming back to the 50-yard line.
Everybody's eyes on the white hat.
Yep. Here we go. Mike's cutting in and out. I didn't hear what he said. Did you?
Obviously, it was upheld.
Evidently, it was upheld. Yep.
The call of out of the back of the end zone was upheld, so we're going to be back to one play here.
And boy, did it have to be close. But here we go. Last play of the game, 4th and 10 from the 25. Tyler has to score.
The blitz.
Yep, and somebody jumped. I don't know which
the Broncos
side.
Called a timeout.
Oh, did they? Right before the snap. Well, we're going to keep it here still.
We will keep it
I
here.
am not risking a commercial and then going, well, welcome back. The game is over.
And I did notice there that the Broncos had a blitz coming off the left edge there, maybe trying to force Square to get the ball out quickly. He's had nothing but time.
Yeah, he's been able to park it back there and look around, that's for sure. But again, to reset the table, 17-12 your score. We believe 6 seconds left. And for Tyler, they have the ball on the 25-yard line of NMMI going into the wind. 4th and 10, one play. If they can get in the end zone, they win it.
Bezos to the left and Amari Henry to the right.
Yeah, they've got trips out to the right. One receiver left.
Johnson and Hilburn in the slot.
Here comes the snap. Pressure coming.
Left.
He throws. He has a man.
Short.
Boy, he's out of bounds at like the 5. Wow, now that's a different idea. They're down to, where are they at? 5-yard line? Something like that?
We'll see where they put this down box.
Where's the marker? Okay,
It's
a little
right
further
at
back.
10.
Yeah, they're about the 10.
No timeout used
That's
here.
the first down, though. This has got to be the last play. So they're a little bit closer. There's the throw, knocked down. But is the clock run out? No. So they still have another play. And we apologize, the clock is down. But a good defensive play by NMMI to save the touchdown.
There was a attempted slant to bet.
Yeah, they must have enough time. They get to run another one.
Incomplete. Great job by the Bronco corner there.
Second and goal. He's going to have to roll out. Uh-oh.
And it's a sack. He goes down.
That's probably time. They're trying to see if they can run another play. White hat blows the whistle. Do they still have time?
Timeout by the Apaches. I can't believe that 6 seconds hasn't run off, but
it must not have been 6 seconds.
Once again, we're only guessing. It was way more than 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's more like 20.
Because
this is for you guys,
seconds.
For your blood pressure and your excitement.
Now we know for sure that the Apaches no longer have a timeout.
Now they have no timeouts.
Yeah,
where are they at? The 20, maybe?
I am not going to say that this is the last play of the game.
I'm not either. We said that 4 times.
The last 5 plays of the game.
Wow.
Great job by the Apache coaching staff to get right in this side judge's ear and get that timeout. Hilburn's going to be lined up out wide to the left here.
So it's 3rd and goal from what, the 27?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Basa's out left. Hilburn in the slot again. Johnson's going to slide left here. It's going to be a fade pattern. That's going to go incomplete.
They must still have enough time to run one more.
That's incomplete. And we'll have another last play of the game, we think.
Well, this is definitely the last one, at least for Tyler, because it's 4th down.
It's definitely the last
Well, I
one.
mean, let's say, well, no, they got to score. It's 4th and goal from the 25.
4th and goal.
And it was not a penalty that got him there. It was a sack.
Same formation. Hilburn and Basa to the left. Henry to the right. Where drops back. No pressure. He's going to roll to his right. He's being pressured. He gets it to the end zone. Knock it down.
I think he caught it.
It was
I
out
think
of our
Zero
view.
caught it.
And Hilburn,
I think he outjumped 3 NMMI
Hilburn
players.
makes the catch in the end zone.
Is that the call? Where what the fans are saying, yeah. I'm not seeing anything from the officials. I think the prayer was answered. It was 0, right?
It was 0.
Hilburn, same guy that went out of the back of the end zone.
The officials are leaving the field, and that will be the ball game.
That's it. Last play of the game.
Hail Mary throw.
Tyler wins it. 25-yard pass from Guerrera. They scored 3 of their last 4 possessions and come back and win this one. They don't have to kick the PAT. 18-17. What a game.
Yeah, Guerra to Hilburn. He out-jumped 3 Broncos and came down with the ball in the end zone.
And give credit to Guerrera for avoiding the sack.
Yeah, he bought time, rolled out to his right, made a great throw.
Yeah. Good. Well, I hope we did this game justice. I often feel like on radio that sometimes you don't. It's hard to describe everything that happened. But I do want to go back, Coach, before we take the break and then come and do the wrap-up. Why did NMMI not run the clock out to even give Tyler an opportunity to have a shot to do what they just did at the end of the game?
Well,
one of it's the pass. They threw a pass that, stopped the clock. And it didn't use up that last time out that Tyler had, right?
Yeah.
Not to criticize, NMMI coaching, but I'm just looking at it. You got the ball. You're on their, 10-yard line?
Yes.
And you don't run the clock out.
Well, probably the thinking, obviously, you just never want to second guess coaching because I've been in those shoes before. If you run the ball there, you do force the Apaches to use their last timeout, and maybe they don't get this last play.
Yeah, that's very true.
Obviously, that'll be a play that the Bronco coaching staff will relive and replay in their minds, and you got to move on from it. And it's always one of those things. If it's a complete pass and the Broncos get the first down, then they run one play, force the Apaches to use the last timeout, and then they kneel the rest of the clock out. That's just one of those.
Yeah, it's
calls.
easy to second guess or coach from the booth, if you will. But, obviously something like you said, they'll look at and go, man, how do we give those guys the ball back? And then when I look at my stat sheet, 3 of 4 possessions, Tyler scores, all of them on long pass plays. A 62-yard pass play, 50-yard pass play, and a 25-yard pass play.
The playmakers for the Apaches just came out. Hilburn was extremely huge here in the fourth quarter. He caught the touchdown up the middle, broke a tackle from the safety, took it to the house, and then he out jumps 3 guys in the end zone.
There literally were 3 Colts
3 Broncos there.
going on the jump. Broncos going for the jump, and he went up and out-jumped all of them.
And that's going to continue the Apaches' undefeated record here in conference play.
Yeah, 5-0 and 2-0.
Yeah,
3-0.
That'll drop the Broncos to a 1-2 in conference play. Mr. Gunn brought you over a few stats if you want to do it before we close out.
Yeah, you want to just do that and then we'll just wrap up?
Yes,
so
sir.
Let me see if I can figure out what we want to look at here, Coach, as the stats are immense. If I can figure out, there we go, I had it going. See, if the main thing we'd like to see is, well, number one, we have to look now at Guerrera, and I cannot figure out how to get that to move. Is it a touchscreen?
No.
Nope, it's not. See if you can figure that sucker out. Little laptop here, they brought us over some stats, and we'll try and get those to you. But I'd be interested in passing yardage for Guerrera, as he had a huge second half. One of his passes was in the third quarter, and one of them, 2 of them actually, in the fourth. But, Coach, while you're looking at that, trying to pull that up, I'll quickly recap. Started off with a Donahoe run on their second possession from 8 yards, and it was NMMI up 7-0. And then it was a Porter to Munfree pass. That was a wide receiver coming around and found Munfree, and that was a 27-yard touchdown pass. 14-0 was your score at that point. Next possession for NMMI was a 27-yard field goal, and they took the lead at 17-0. We think about 4 minutes left before halftime. And I tell you, the other thing for Tyler that's kind of hard to believe is they overcame a 5-turnover negative turnover ratio, if you will. They gave up the ball 5 times, 4 interceptions, a fumble. They got none, and yet they overcame that. And the other part that we it's easy to miss here is they basically shut out NMMI in the second half.
They did. NMMI did not. I mean, all NMMI needed was that field goal. That would have possibly done it. But for Guerrera on the day, passing, Dwayne, 38 attempts, 22 completions, 2 interceptions, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked only 1 time on here with time.
That was, like with 2 plays left, so to speak. So probably, 12 seconds, something like that?
Correct. And the leading receiver for the Apaches is going to be Elijah Mesa. Had 7 receptions, 109 yards, no touchdowns. Amari Henry, 4 receptions, 76 yards, 1 TD. And maybe it was him that caught that ball in the end zone then.
It was Hilburn, I believe, that caught it, wasn't it? I think so.
And we don't have Hilburn here.
No stats
on the receiving yards. Want to say he had 2 touchdowns, but I don't have his totals for Hilburn on here.
That's all right.
3 receptions, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that would be him.
That's him.
So
But
pretty amazing performance,
yeah.
What a fun game, though. I mean,
tough effort.
I know being a NMMI alum, that's probably hard to watch, but really a game of 2 halves, if you will.
Yes.
17-0 in the first half in favor of NMMI, 18-0 in the second half. And it went down to the very last play of the game.
Exactly. And some final stats for the Broncos here. Passing for Jake South, 24 attempts, 9 completions, 31 yards, no touchdowns. Jeremiah Porter had 1 pass completed, and it was for 27 yards and 1 touchdown. Rushing for the Broncos, 11 attempts for South on 89 yards. Dylan Donahoe, 24 carries, 62 yards. Ricky Harding, 1 carry, 43 yards. Odalis Cardenas, 2 carries for 12 yards. And Antonio Muniz, 3 carries for 1 yard. Receiving for the Broncos, Trayvon Butler, he had 5 yards in receptions, four receptions, 5 yards. Jeremiah Porter, 2 receptions for 15 yards. Antonio Muniz, 2 receptions for 11 yards. Samuel Momphrey, 1 reception for 27 yards and 1 touchdown. And that is it. That will do the offensive stats.
Good job, Coach. And those are official stats. As I often say, my stats are officially unofficial. Those were official. So
those came straight from the man, Jim Gunn.
That's right. Well, and we want to thank him. Mr. Gunn, thanks so much for everything. I thoroughly had a blast doing this broadcast. Great setup, nice tent. Had a very, not to minimize it by any stretch, a very high school spirited feel to it.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Dwayne.
Yeah, you as well. You did a great job. You made this a lot of fun for me.
We want to thank Tanner and his crew.
Yep,
as
want
well.
to thank Tanner Todd. He was our producer this evening. And, man, let me see. There's just so many people involved in this thing. I lose track of who they all are.
Well, Gene Dow.
Gene Dow for sure. He's involved. And then back in Tyler, Texas. Bear with me a minute.
Bill Coates.
Bill, yeah, I thought it was Bill. I wanted to make sure, but I do want to thank Bill. I talked with him several times, and seems like a great guy. I'm sure he does a wonderful job back there in Tyler and Longview. And I used to go play softball at a tournament in Longview. Yeah, back in the day, we had a sponsor that had more money than brains.
Right.
And he would send us all over Texas and Oklahoma, and anyway, had a lot of fun one time going to Longview.
Well, my apologies to Bill. I didn't get to connect with him. I missed a couple of phone calls from him, but maybe next time.
All right, maybe next time. Well, with that said, again, your final score is Tyler 18, NMMI 17. And we do want to thank you for listening to football this afternoon on NJCAA. Finally got it right. Football. And we've been right here on the campus at NMMI in Roswell, New Mexico. The game was on KSVPTV.com and AM 600 KTBB in Tyler, Texas and Longview, Texas. So with that said, on behalf of everybody here, Henry Villarreal, Coach V, and myself, Dwayne Chase, and Tanner Todd, the producer. What a game. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and you're going to like this one. Go Tigers.
Safe travels to you.
All right, everybody have a wonderful evening, and we hope we did a great game justice right here on the radio and online. So everybody have a wonderful weekend, and whoever your baseball team is, best of luck. But I like the Tigers myself. Go Tigers. Good afternoon, everybody.